What is up, Raider Nation? Gravy is back, and it's wonderful to be back with you guys. It was a tough decision to come back, but there is a reason. There is a reason, and I'm glad. I'm glad that I am back. I'm glad I am back, and I'm gonna be here often. Gravy ain't gonna go nowhere. There needs to be somebody like me in the culture of Raiderism. I'm gonna bring that back to you. But the reason why I've been gone for a while, obviously everybody knows that the two gentlemen that I was on a great show with, um, Raider Gabe and Dirty Low, they doing their thing. Much love to them. There wasn't no animosity. There wasn't nothing about that. Just we went on a different path as far as life is concerned. But I wish them well. They're my brothers. Never gonna hold anything back from them. They're great people. They're great dudes. They're great Raider fans too. So much love to them two guys that started out with it, having me with that great show. But Gravy's solo. Gravy's doing things by himself. I'm rarely gonna get on shows. I'm just gonna do things myself. And that's just my decision right now. Talking about the Raiders. I need to be here. I need to talk. I'm different. For the people that know me that are in the chat right now, I don't expect to have a bunch of people on right now. I'm new. I'm not a new guy. I'm not a new uh, 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 content creator. I had my own shows before. If you watched me before, but if you're new, Auntie Six, Jeff, thank you for being here, man. Much love. I love you guys. You know what's up with that. That there's a reason why I'm here, and it's tough. It's tough for me to say. It's tough for me to feel. Um, on June 17th, one of the worst things happened to me in my life. Besides my father passed away, my little sister passed away. Sudden, unfortunate. A lot of people that are gonna watch me during my sister's, services and things like that. This is the time that I barely have to grieve for my sister. It's going on 2 months. Um, it was tough for me. She was my baby sister. She was 38 years old, and I feel my sister was a real down Raider fan. You see pictures of me and her. My backdrop was me and her. We went to several games together. I raised her to be a Raider fan. She enjoyed me doing this. She always called me and told me, "Bro, keep doing what you're doing. I love it when you're on there." And I stopped doing it. And she, her passing, and she talks to me, and I believe in that. I don't know if you do, but my sister comes to me, and she loved what that I did this. She bragged about it, and and all you guys know I may be different, and my views might be different from yours, but they're Gravy's opinions, and I'm doing this for her. Every episode from now on is dedicated to my sister. She wanted me to do this. She loved the Raiders, and I'm going to talk about her a lot. I miss her, and this makes that feeling gratifying. So bear with me. I might go out of whack like I usually do, and I want to tell everybody that I'm doing this for her. So this is for Melissa. That was her name. She's behind me. She's all the Raider stuff. I brought all the Raider stuff from her house, and I have it here in my little studio. But uh, this is for her, and this is why I'm doing it. And for the love of the Raiders, everybody knows that I'm a real passionate fan, passionate about my team, and I don't care if there's one person watching or 50. I'm gonna do this because of her. We would have a great conversation amongst all of us. So, what I'm going to do, I really didn't plan I have a lot of things to say, where to start, but we're going to go by what's your basic questions? I'll leave it to chat. Get to know the chat. But this is a stogie with Coach Gravy, and I lit up early because Auntie Six made me. He was waiting for me, and usually I do that. But Auntie Six, man, you're a good dude. Uh, Winner of my fantasy league. We're gonna start that up again. I'll give it to you. The defending champion on the college squad, but it's gonna be something different, and it's gonna be a good, better, a little bit more money to put in, but we'll see what's going on. And my boy Jeff, man, you do a great show, doing a great job with your show, man. Just finished watching it. You and JD getting down. You guys kept me really informed of my absence. And my boy, I checked in with you, NorCal. I checked in with you all the time to see how you're doing, my boy. It's good to see you on your face on here, your name on here, bro. It's great to see you. Great, great, great to see you. Makes me feel good that my old students are in here. We don't know me. I've been doing this a while. I've been doing this a great while, and I'm kind of different. My opinions are different. My views are different. I'm a football coach. I kind of look at it in that standpoint. This is for the people that know me. I know NorCal and Jeff know what I'm gonna be saying and what I like and don't like. But this is for the people that are gonna watch it and say, let these people know, hey, Gravy's on. Tell the people. I don't care if you're old school, you know me already. I want to see support. I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna do it for Melissa. I'm gonna run everything tight for my little sister. She liked that I did this, and I'm gonna do for her. So I ain't gonna stop, and I ain't gonna go away. Soldiers of Gravy will be on daily. Jeff is asking me questions. I'm gonna respond to you. I'm gonna do that all night. I'm gonna give me some takes. We'll talk about it. I got different views. I've been watching you guys. You know what, Jeff? New York, it was booked, set, ready to go, but my sister's services, and she wasn't prepared, and so big bro got to do it. My mom's in bad shape, so I got to do it. So that took a lot of dough. You know how it is. It's a little bit of dough. So I hope you understand that. But LA, most definitely, is a must go. Is a must go. I had tickets with my sister to go to that game. I was gonna kind of not surprise you, but say, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I got my moderators in there. I did that didn't change. NorCal, you're my moderator. My boy D Menace. You know I ain't got the words, bro. So you know what I'm gonna say. Much love to you. You're. I met you before. You're a wonderful, wonderful guy to me. I'm never gonna forget it. Never forget you. You're the best thing in around here. People know the type man you are. I do, and that's all that matters. I love you, D Menace. I love all the people that's in here supporting me right now. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. But I've been watching everybody. Much respect to everybody that's out there, new guys out there, saying a lot of weird things, a lot of things that I really don't agree with, and a lot of things that I do. You're gonna get a different group from Coach Baby. You know, you know that. It's a most definite possibility. A 90 fucking 10 that I'll be up in LA over there. And then you know what? The home opener ain't a far reach either. It's just we were gonna spend like a week and a half in New York, bro, and I was looking forward to it. Me and wife were looking forward to it, but that can't happen. And then my mom too. So I could jam for a day or two, Vegas, LA, and then I'll see you there, bro. I look forward to meeting you and seeing with you, shaking your big ass hand. And so stay up. I'm gonna be there. D Menace, I'm gonna see you too. I'm gonna make sure to go up and see you. NorCal, you get a time, man. You ain't on social media. Got a new job working. Hey, that's good. Get that money, bro. I respect that. Get that money. Keep with it. Keep with it. But what you guys been saying on the other shows that I respect? There's a couple on now. Sorry to step on your toes. So let's see what's going on now. The main topic right now, and what we have been talking about, and I might stutter. I'm not nervous or anything, but I need to go uh, through my mind notes and see what's going on. My opinion, what's going on, bro? How you been? Thank you for being here, man. It's been a long time. I'm back. Baby's back. I'm gonna be on tomorrow, maybe, but you're gonna see me more often. Okay, I'm back in the game. I'm coaching football. I'm coaching the school I am, and I got several opportunities to coach other places. My boy Roby is at a high school. I got to get with him, and probably do the same thing with him. Got a little advice, little things that go. Football is in my mind, and football is close. That's why I'm here. So what better way to hear gravy and my dumb stuff that I'm gonna say that'll get you all whacked. But you know what? I'm gonna try to convince you guys. I'm gonna try to convince you guys so you know that gravy doesn't really dig what you guys are saying. No hard feelings, nothing bad. Um, your guys' opinion is cherished by me, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. But the topic was the trade that we want to do and the quarterback situation. And I know you guys are bored to death hearing about that on other shows, and some of you guys even say it when you're on your own show. If you watched me before, and I'm gonna reiterate what I've said before, that Fernando Mendoza was our number one pick overall. And I hear a lot of shows and a lot of people agreeing that it's okay that he sits. And to me, Raider Nation has got into a mediocre state of mind. Not saying you are, but it's it's crazy to me to have a guy that I think, and you have to think, that's the best quarterback that we have out there right now. Physically, he's known already to be mentally ready. Okay, the experience needs to be now. When you sit there and you look at Fernando Mendoza, he already has the tools. You got to think that because you wanted him. Okay, you guys wanted to get Fernando Mendoza. Did you want him to sit? Did you think why are we here saying this guy's gonna sit and learn in the being a backup or being third string? The disrespect for well, shit, you even got him saying it. He messed up. Now it just makes now it just makes you guys feel more comfortable saying that he shouldn't start. That's bullshit. He's the number one pick overall. He's better than Kirk Cousins. He's better than AOC right now. That's just that he has to learn how to get under center. It takes time to do that. Okay, he rarely did it. He rarely did that when he was in college. He only did it 5 times at Cal, 2 times or whatever at Indiana. Okay, it's not hard to do that. It's not. In some way or another, in high school or somewhere, he learned how to get a snap from center and reading defenses. What do you think that? What do we think that he's been doing since he got drafted, or even before he got drafted? Did we forget all that? Did we forget that? You think this guy's just been kicking back? You think he's just been sitting there and not learning this offense? I was hearing the other day he doesn't know the playbook. How do you know that? He says it. If he's saying that, then he shouldn't have been the number one pick overall. I question why was he the number one pick overall. Our value of that pick is off the rockers because we're Raider fans. We're saying it's all right to have a number one overall pick sit behind a guy that he's better than. The only way that this guy could get better and develop is if he plays. Is if he plays. How could I preach that to you guys enough? I coach football. The only way a guy gets better is if he plays offhand. How is he gonna know the speed of the game? I was telling my wife this when we were sitting down watching our backyard, kicking back in the back. We're trying to get that. We're trying to get that situated. But and it looks very nice, man. But You hear Deion Sanders one time. Go back and look at what Deion Sanders about sitting up bench. It's a point to where I'll get to your guys' questions. I'm keeping them. I'm highlighting them. I'm gonna start with my opinion. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. My opinion and Auntie. I'm gonna get there. But he said a backup ain't gonna sit here and said I learned a lot today, not playing. I sat on the bench, but I learned a lot today. That's bullshit. So you guys are sitting here saying that he's not better than the quarterback that we have. We've done this already. What makes you think that Kirk Cousins is better than any other guy we got? We're doing the same shit. And then I was saying, no, wait. And I was sitting here saying, oh, Gravy's back to his shit. Back to what he used to say. You don't agree with nothing. I think the kid should play. How is he going to learn? You think that him getting not hit with that red jersey on is going to make him get ready for the game? He's known to be a smart ass guy. That's what every commentator said when he was getting drafted. He's smart as hell. Signetti, a respected guy in I don't know if you know this, but yearly the guy is asked to be a coach in the NFL. His family is in his field. His brother was an offensive coordinator for Fresno State. His dad was a coach. He's well respected, and it ain't like 2 years he was good. Nah, he's been Signetti. Everybody that coaches had been to uh, the seminars. No Franks in there, and his brother, well known offensive guy. Well, my opinion, I think I'd answered it. You said you're cool with Cousins started. Why? He knows the system. That's a thing. The only question, and after he six, I'm gonna read your question. The only question I have against the Gravy is what if he's not ready? I said, get in and play, Carly. Get in and play. How's he gonna learn, Anthony Six? You think him sitting and waiting a whole year not to play, right? And then the second year he ain't gonna do the same bullshit he would do. He would know more. Yes, he could do that during the game. What way will he know if a defensive end or a nose tackle is going to come at him full speed? Those are elite athletes. He ain't going to learn that in practice. Elite. They ain't going to hit him. How's he going to learn? That's. I was telling my wife. Or I was on a phone conversation with a coach. I said, what's the difference of Max Crosby being a defensive end and he's a superstar? He's going to hit you. What's the difference of that corner that you don't know nothing about blitzing and hitting you too? They're all elite. They're all fast. They're world class athletes. Nothing's gonna be different, but you sitting and you not knowing about that. Fernando said he is ready. I heard that, and that was bad. I think differently about Fernando Mendoza now. Where the confidence at? What the fuck? What's going on? I told myself I wouldn't tell. What's going on here? I question that, guys. Why aren't we questioning that? Why are we cool with our number one pick sitting? Why are we with that? I know the average. I hear it all the time. The quarterbacks that started, the last 10 years, it ain't this and that or whatever. That's a great. I agree with you. My opinion says, oh, I have to show this. There it is. My opinion says the playbook you use, it takes time to digest. Bill, you think he ain't been doing this? What you think he been doing, man, since he got drafted? Shit, they even said he was with some other guy learning this. It doesn't take that long if he's a number one overall pick. My opinion of a number one overall pick is different than yours, I guess. You like them to sit and wait. AR-12 still. AR-12 is who? Don't you trust Kubiak? Kubiak was an offensive coordinator 3 times for 1 year. Won the Super Bowl last year. He was an offensive coordinator with Kirk Cousins 1 year. It's his first time being a head coach. We trust him more than AP. We trust him more than shit. I don't trust him more. I think I don't know why people are disrespecting Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a great coach, but he just got crazy with us. But do you trust him for what he's saying? He won a Super Bowl, yes, I'll give you that, bro. But the O line is still something. What it needs to be all perfect for this dude. He's the number one overall pick. It needs to be all perfect. That's what we're gonna do. Well, then we shouldn't have picked him, and we should have made it perfect for another quarterback that's coming in. Why are we? What's up with that? That's what football's around, bro. You don't pick a quarterback and they make everything just all perfect for him to be successful. You got to go through your shit. You have to go through your shit. You know, they become better through playing. They become better through knowing what's going on, not sitting the bench and watching. You tell me when you go over, Mahomes played. This dude ain't Mahomes. Mahomes wasn't a number one overall pick. They went up to get Mahomes. Alex Smith was doing an admirable job. Alex Smith was doing a way better job than Kirk Cousins ever did. You bring up Rodgers. Rodgers that because Brett Favre was way fucking better than him. Hall of Famer better. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Way better than when Aaron Rodgers was. Aaron Rodgers got it. Aaron Rodgers was a good quarterback. He came in and got it. It's not because he said. You think Brett Favre was over there teaching him everything and saying what to do? We know Brett Favre was a dick, right? It was the other one. It was the other one said that's sad, and it gives him credit. Smith, or what's his name from the 49ers? That was Joe Montana, Hall of Fame guy. You're talking Hall of Famers. He's sitting under. It's not Kirk Cousins. And if we think that Kirk Cousins had a successful year, he got beat out by a rookie. He got hurt, got beat out again. He got hurt, got thrown in there, got beat out again. That's what we want. That's what we want teaching this guy. We think that's cool. He's already better than Kirk Cousins. Why do I have this confidence in this guy? And our value of the number one pick went soft. Our fan base went soft. It's not because I want to see him. It's because he's a number one overall pick, and the value of that pick, what happened to it? Bench him? Sit? I trusted here go McDingleberry. I don't know there's this guy. He's a solid QB with a great bench from Mendoza. And so was the fucking 50. So was Geno Smith. We hate Geno Smith. We hate everybody that ain't successful. Are we scared for this guy not to be successful? Expect it. But he's learning. He's learning the right way. The right way is not putting him on making him. What kind of confidence is he gonna be being third string? And fuck, his confidence is so bad. He's saying he ain't ready. If he wasn't ready, he should have been the number one pick. We should have went another way. Here we go. He's getting paid $57 million sitting on the bench. Whatever. The money ain't the thing to me. I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to come out doing this stuff. But if we break that week, my old line, I prefer Cousins take all the sacks. And what if they don't do their job and he gets hurt? One. He's better than AOC. You want that shit? Or you want to see your rookie? You think there's fan bases out there wearing fucking number 12s, bro? Or they got a bunch of 15s out there? What do you think? We're going to go, oh, shit. That's what I'm going to do. And I know you've been hearing boring your ass that AOC didn't deserve a chance. He started games. What do you mean he didn't get his chance? And now we're on that stuff. This dude should be starting in my book, and I ain't going to get off it. If you think it's a good idea, I think it's a good idea that this guy plays. It's always been that way. We're so old school Raiders that we go out the way and we think it's cool that it's a bad decision from a coach that was a quarterback coach, but didn't have the choice of what quarterback he picked. It was an offensive coordinator 3 years. And 2 of those years weren't successful. 1 year was a Super Bowl. And he had players. Players. Seattle has players. And so we want to make it all fine and dandy for this guy, or we want to learn it. What if these get bad for him? He's gonna fall under pressure. Learn that pressure now. The pressure is now. There goes John. John Studios, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good. You got 44,000 yards, 290 over 14 years. Not at Cal, not at Indiana, not in NCAA and the NFL. Mendoza ain't ready. Let him hold that clipboard. All right. That's what you think. You feel good about that a little bit. I'm not going to convince you guys. I'm just giving you my opinion, Studio. You throw stats at me all you want. 14 years, bro. You better have fucking 44,000 yards. You better, bro. Derek Carr do that in 9? What the fuck happened there? And we all know I'm from Fresno and I don't even dig Carr. You know me. Studios, you know me, bro. I promised myself I was back in Kubiak this season no matter what, Gravy. That's cool. Dude is a good. He wasn't my choice. I wanted LaFleur or Mentor. That's what I wanted. But I'm cool with Kubiak. Comes from a great hair. You know, the dude won a Super Bowl. You can't, but he had players, bro. He had a running game. He had the best receiver in football, and I think that he'll be successful with us, bro. He needs a chance. But doing this, getting your guy and sitting him, that ain't the way to do it. And there's nothing I can do because this dumb motherfucker, I thought he was smart. He said, I ain't ready yet. Wow. I lost confidence in this dude already. Aaron Rodgers said because Brett Favre was better than him, bro. Hall of Famer. What's up? 2 Hall of Famers. He made a Hall of Famer. He wasn't good. Aaron Rodgers was good already, bro. Nothing great about being last in the NFL. It ain't. Then what are we doing? Getting a bridge quarterback again. Again. What are they saying about us, dude? How many games are they saying we're going to win with this dude? You want to win 4 games with this guy? I don't care if we win 4 games on Mendoza. He's learning. He's learning the right way. He's learning the speed of the game. He ain't doing that in practice. He ain't doing that over there. I want to see your O-line first, and so do I, bro. It's important that he has a good offensive line, but what better way to put him out there with him? You don't want to get this guy hurt. How's he going to learn? He going to be a little wuss ass like our other guy we had that we admire. We're doing the same shit with this dude like we did the other guy. Stop it, please. But who has Kubiak's trust, baby? But who does? I'm sure Fernando Mendoza does because he ain't out there. He probably getting told to say this dumb shit. Did you like your quarterback saying he ain't ready? Number 1 overall pick? You value that pick? Who? Jesus. And we're saying that a number 2 pick isn't valued. We're saying that we overdrafted Genty and we didn't get value for that pick, but we're sitting our fucking number 1 overall pick. Yes, it's a different position, but where's the balance here in that? He's good enough. And he's going to learn. But play. What better way is he going to learn? Hey, my opinion said, great, keep it coming, guys. We will get a chance to see Seattle without. They're going to still be good, bro. My opinion, I don't know how old you are, bro. I forgot, bro. I haven't talked to you in a while. My patience is done. Okay? And what's wrong with me wanting to win and wanting to win right now? Make moves right now. Do whatever you got to do to get that nose tackle. Because aren't you guys tired? Is this another season of Adam Butler finally stepping up? Are we done with that yet? Didn't we do that with this other knucklehead we traded? His year. Are we done with that yet? I am. And that's what my show is about, bro. I ain't even here to start no controversy. And I'm not gonna be bitching at you. I have trust in Kubiak. I like Fernando Mendoza. I don't like what he's saying. I think he's better than I could say wait and see, bro. My patience is done, my opinion. My patience is done. And I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. And I'm glad you're all aboard with Vita Van. We need that. We wanted that so bad in the draft, and he didn't get it for us. What we get doing everything ass backwards, bro. We're doing everything ass backwards. We get a quarterback bench. We don't get a defensive tackle. We think Tonka Hemingway, which has promised to do the 6th, 7th round pick. You can't expect a lot from him. The development for these guys is right now. From right now, it's been developing. We can't wait for these guys to be good during the season because I don't know if I'm going to burst your bubbles or whatever. I have a lot of people that play pro football that in my circle, and the development stops game one. You have practice, you work out individually, but you're game planning. You're working on who you're playing against, bro. You're working on game plan. You're working on this and that. You do little nick and knack thing. You're still active, but majority, 80, 75% of what you're doing is getting ready for that game. That shit stops. And I could get somebody on here to tell you that played in the NFL recently. It tripped me out because I was in the development. My boy Omar, you guys know Omar, but he tells me, I guess you don't believe in development. Yes, I do, but that's for right now. You have 3 months to do that shit right now, off season, get better. You can do things with teammates. You can go to the facility and work on shit. We think that Fernando Mendoza, since he got drafted, kicking it with his girl or with his mom, rolling his mom around or hanging out, going to places and visiting. Nah, bro, he's in his playbook. So why he ain't got the playbook yet? 3 fucking months of being in the facility every day, 20 hours a day. If he ain't got it, he ain't up to the #1 overall pick. You expect less from a #1 overall pick than anybody I've ever known that's been talking on the radio. Am I the only one that thinks this? People, let me tell you why Tom Brady. Tom Brady did what he did, right? But Drew Bledsoe was better than Tom Brady at that time. And let me tell you something else he did. If you go back them days, my opinion, you still haven't told me how long. None of my business, but I just want to. I'm older than you probably, but it's no knock on you, bro. You spit good game. I love your input. But Tom Brady, they had that already built. Oh, you're my age. Good job. Then you are that's now I know why you say what you say, and you're doing a good job with it. You just my opinion is different from yours, and you're real patient. I'm a patient man and whole. But for the Raiders, fuck no, I'm done with that. I'm done, bro. And as long as you probably been a Raider fan a long time, bro. So I know that you should be impatient too. Fuck this waiting stuff. I want to win. I want to win now. And if we don't win, I'm still gonna be talking shit. Alpha Kazi, what's up, bro? How you doing? Thank you for being here with me, man. I know it's early over there. So you're getting to work. Get up. Let's go. Got a lot to say. But you've been a Raider fan a long time, in my opinion. And if I was you, I'll be tired of this shit. I'll be tired of it, man. I ain't get Vita Vea. Get Stephon Diggs. What's wrong with that? He fucking a rapper. What happened? She's crazy. We need that. And we're satisfied with the. I don't. Everything that we need to start off a team, we neglect it. We neglect it. We need a defensive tackle. We didn't get one. We think Adam Butler's gonna finally come out of it. I'm done with Adam Butler. We need that guy. I don't care if he's 31, 32 years old. He's a mainstay defensive tackle. That's what we need. We ain't got nobody close to him on our team. And I ain't with those old Lalu had a pretty good couple of games and this and that. I ain't with all that. I ain't with all that. So tell me how you feel. I love this team too. What do you think of Bakasi? Are you satisfied with our defensive tackle room? You've been saying, if you're watching, you've been saying, Gravy, we haven't got a defensive tackle worth of shit in 10, 15 years in draft. Are you satisfied with this same old shit? Are we satisfied? I want to win, folks. I've been saying that. And I told you I'm different. We can argue all day about this. And we can argue till I finish this stogie. Well, my opinion, let's do something about it, bro. Let's go get this guy. You're with it. And then I got an opinion for our secondary. You know, these young guys that we have are gonna be this Masses kid is gonna be he's already tearing it up. He late round pick. Darian Porter, well, I don't know what's wrong with us, but he was a receiver. And all of a sudden he's gonna be a decent starting a corner. He's only been playing corner for 3 years. I'm gonna get at that, in my opinion. You talking my language, my boy. You talking my language, dog. Here it is right here. McCoy. McCoy is the best corner we have on that team right now. We with Masses and McCoy, right? And Masses is already balling. That development Mass guy. He got aggressive, got great instinct, great. He hawks the ball. He can tackle. He he gonna beat out Porter. And let me tell you something about McCoy. This dude, my boy is my dog right there is the best corner we have on our squad right now. With these two get busy, right? As rookies. Now I'm gonna get on McCoy that a misconception that you guys don't know about. I'm hesitant with McCoy. Very, very hesitant. Almost to say that he might not play. Okay, you got to know the impact his injury has on his football career. And I know you've been hearing it. I know you guys been hearing it. But these two guys this year, we will see that Eric Stokes ain't shit. Y'all know that I ain't an Eric Stokes guy, right? And we think that Eric Stokes had a great season last year, number one reception. They went in motion with their second man. They went in motion away from Eric Stokes, the main guy. And it wasn't because they were afraid of Eric Stokes. But just look at the tape. I seen it. Eric Stokes is there. He doesn't deserve that money. He didn't deserve that money that quickly. And then McCoy's gonna beat him out. Instantly. Instantly. Or Massive. It's gonna hit there, it's gonna beat him out. And that'll be Eric Stokes is gonna be what Eric Stokes always was. He played good for us. I give it to him. I think he's good for us, but he ain't that money good. Now I ain't in the Raiders' pockets because I want everybody, but I'll tell you this right now. Pretty sure Eric Stokes is going to come out to be Eric Stokes. But I'll take what he did last year. If you want to say that you want to go this overwhelming PFF quarterback coverage grade, go ahead. But you play in zone, and a man guy. They went on motion. They did some type of move. They moved their receivers. That's how they beat us. We played zone forever, and they just beat us in the gap. And they would go the other way, overset Porter. Porter's a weaker corner, and they killed us there in the middle of the field where Stokes isn't at. If there was a third guy on him, it was the last resort in the flat or anything like that, he defended it. Okay, so that's my view on that. Now McCoy, I love McCoy. McCoy is a baller already, starting material already. The best corner in the draft got picked in the fourth round. I understand all that. It's not a feel good story. He dropped for a reason. And the reason why he dropped is not because of his ACL. His ACL is good, but the career ending thing is the plug. Now, I haven't heard anybody, unless they're a medical show or whatever, and I don't know, but, you know, structurally, ligamentally, the knee is good. He could be out there. The reason why he ain't out there is this, and this is a fact. You could double down, ask ChatGPT, whatever that is, and find out what a bone plug does. And what a bone plug does is they take a piece of bone and cartilage, and they see if you have a person walking around here saying, "Oh, I have my knee, it's bone on bone. I don't have no cartilage." They lying. They lying to you. It would be intolerable pain. You all know that if you have it done before. I've never had a bone plug, but I know about it. A lot of football players get that, and it's when he had it young, and when they do that, your bone and your cartilage is still growing. It's still what that plug does is that it grows into they put it in the damaged cartilage. If it doesn't take, if it doesn't grow inside there and make more cartilage, he needs a knee replacement. When you don't have, when you say you walking around with no, I don't have no cartilage in my knee. You lying, bro. It'll be intolerable pain. You need a knee replacement. They cut your knee out, and put another one in there, robot. And if that bone plug doesn't take or mature, it takes 12 a year or 2 years to do that. Okay, he was young, and evidently his growth was to where he could get a bone plug. They don't do that to older people. If you're 25, 24 years old, if you're like Stokes is fucking 26 years old. They ain't gonna do that to him because his bones area grown. But he was so young to where he still had cartilage in there, bone that was growing. They put that plug in there, and it needs to grow, and it needs to turn into bone and cartilage. If that doesn't take, ask anybody medical. You can't play football no more. Most likely, you're gonna need a knee replacement, and it's too soon of a young man. He can do other things than to walk around limping with a fake fucking knee. That's the prognosis of a bone plug that don't work. There's no way right now that anybody can say that bone plug is good. And that's why he ain't participating in shit. They're going to get the use out of him. They're going to get the use out of him games. He's going to be out there running around, my opinion. Yes, cartilage is there so the bones don't rub together. So if anybody says my knee ain't got no cartilage in it, it's bone on bone, they tripping. They'll be intolerable pain. You be hurting so bad. They're not a shot. You probably take some KJ or some heroin, make you feel better, but that's about it. Morphine shit, daily, hourly. You take that because it's intolerable pain. That's what he has to deal with. Is that plug? Is no guarantee that it'll work. So if it doesn't, he's not going to pull ACL. He's not going to do that. He just ain't going to have no cartilage in that knee. That damaged cartilage is there. It didn't grow. So we hope it does. And if it does, but he's always a risk. There's always a risk with this guy. So they're going to use the time they have with him, game time, than to have him pedal around in practice. He's already got that. He's better than any corner we got. moving, covering, tackling. I'm going to be worried about him tackling. So be expected, McCoy, to not be in there that much. He's going to do it. He has it. But you can see him play a lot of Bobby Man and covering somebody. He's moving good in practice. The ACL is fine, in my opinion. It's fine, bro. It's the plug. It's gonna that you don't know nothing about. Yeah, he's gonna be. But the reason they're doing it is they don't want that not around. It just runs. It the contact, the game time, physical impact of that is what they want to save. That's what they want to save from him is the plays that matter. He got practice. He's tearing fools up in practice. Everybody's saying McCoy's high. Starters, number one guys. If you think our receivers are number one guys, they're saying he got it. So much I can't even get a bag of my smoke. Baby, you like it? What y'all think about that? What do you think about that? What I just said? Did you guys know that? You guys thought that little bone plug was going to react differently? He's lucky, you know, that he got a really bad, he got a really bad knee injury to mess up his cartilage like that to where you need a bone plug. It's not the he agreed to that, and it was a situation to where this might work, or you're not going to play football no more. But being a number one pick, bro, guaranteed money rookie year. That's you play off that, bro. You rich. Now he's not. He's not. He's getting that fourth round money. It's not guaranteed. So he has to play. He has to play to earn his shit. So he's gonna. They're saving him to play. You're not gonna see a lot of them, Bobby, in preseason, and that's exactly what I would do. There you go, my opinion. Thank you, man, for all your input, man. I dig that, man. My opinion, you're doing good. I don't think that it would be picked him if they thought he wouldn't make it. The risk, it's the risk. The value of a fourth round pick is he's worth that risk. He's that type guy too, my opinion. I think we feel the same way about McCoy. So he's worth that risk being a fourth round pick. And I agree with it. But I would do the same thing that they're doing with him. I wouldn't put him out there going all full speed at practice. He's going to run. He's going to get in shape. But I don't expect him to be tackling. I don't expect him to be on special teams. But because that might not work, bro. And it takes. I seen 1 to 2 years for that bone plug to heal. To if it grows, if it's growing into his damaged, well, they cut it off. But if it's growing, your body, it's up to him. It's up to his body. If his body doesn't want to do it, if he's old enough, it is what it is. When your cartilage, that's it. That's it. It's bone with cartilage on top. And evidently, he doesn't have any more cartilage. So they took some cartilage out of probably his other knee and put it in that knee, and it grows. Does we get what I'm saying? It was a bad knee injury. His knee was pretty bad, in my opinion. What up, Rafa? What up, Rafa? I heard you on a phone call with Jeff from there, man. What's up? I heard you talking about that. Yeah, I do. I don't. God, it's so negative, baby. I don't like this. I don't know where we see that we're all right, and let's just see. I want to win, folks. I don't want to sit around and wait again. I was very disappointed last year. We sucked last year, and I ain't with this. Oh, I hope we play better. We play better. We look better. I agree with we have to look better because we cannot look any worse than what we did yesterday. It was better last year. It was embarrassing. First time ever, I turned off a game and did something else with wifey. First time ever, I said, "Let's go." Let's bounce. We were getting beat 31-0. And the game only lasted 2 freaking hours or something like that. I enjoy chatting with you too, bro. You mean a lot, man. It means a lot being on this show with me. My first comeback. So, who else got shit to say? You got 12 people in here. Leave something. Leave something. But I dig McCoy. But let me talk about this wide receiver. It's we should have did better. We got a quarterback. What what prime thing would be to get a receiver that's qualified to make him better? You know, are we still on this notion that Trey Tucker is finally gonna get over the top? Are we thinking that? And another thing that I trip out on is that there's some guys out there that are comparing JSN, Trey Tucker's the JSN. Yeah, we are crazy. What are we thinking here? Are we doing dope? Are we doing dope? That we think that about Trey Tucker? And this is what happened. I don't think that his mind, Trey Tucker's mind and hands hasn't gone as quickly as his feet. That's what I think. He's the same dude. He just got thrown the ball more because Jacoby Myers left. My opinion. Man, you reading my mind. We must be the same dude, same age. We know football. We're doing all this here. Malik Benson is gonna be the receiver that does things for us. I see. You know how Kubiak had the Shaheen guy that he got from New Orleans, the all dude doing end rounds, catching quick slants. You see, this guy isn't gonna be doing a grip, a deep post, and things like that. Okay, we got fast dudes, and that's exactly what Trey Tucker's for. That's exactly what Trey Tucker's for. You know, I'm not convinced that Trey Tucker is a wide receiver too. He hasn't convinced me. Yeah, he's getting better every year. He's getting more touches. He's getting the ball more with the dysfunctional wide receiver core that we had. And I ain't blaming Geno Smith. I'm blaming Trey Tucker. Because Trey Tucker isn't a good receiver. He's mid. We can't accept that. But the confidence that Trey Tucker could get better, I agree with. But he's not the type guy I want my number one overall quick pick throwing to. Jalen Naylor is a different guy. And I'll get on Benson in a minute. Jalen Naylor is a fast guy, pretty good sized guy. But he's not, I understand that you can't beat out Jefferson, right? Addison was what, a number one pick? And you come even touch his snaps. So what are we getting here? Oh, wait a minute. Jalen Naylor's finally going to have his breakout year because he's a Raider. I want somebody with decorated catches, decorated 1,000 yards. So we could talk about that. So we know we could get that. I don't give a shit what Diggs' free time is. I don't give a shit if he's having babies. He's a 1,000-yard catcher, 90 catches, 1,000-something yards, 10 touchdowns. That's what we need. Don't you think? But this is what Benson's going to do. Benson's going to be that guy that Trey Tucker couldn't be. And he's a rookie. Big ups to Spike Take for getting this dude in the late round. Because I know he failed. I know he failed. And the vision of Kubiak is Shaheen for Malik Benson. This dude's a playmaker. He does shit on the end around, and that's exactly what we call the wide zone run plays. It's a scheme. It's not a concept. Now let me break that down. If we're over here saying a wide zone concept, we're wrong. We're wrong with it. Wide zone scheme is an offensive line play. Offensive line play, I mean, offensive line wide zone scheme. It's for the offensive linemen. Offensive linemen run horizontally and they go to the boundary. A wide zone play or wide zone run concept is running plays that are in the wide zone run concept. Now, there's a difference there, okay? Wide zone is drop, play action, RPO game. That's a wide zone play is a stretch play off the tackle, like a power, but you're in shotgun. If you're under the center, it's a zone read play. That's where you want to be offensive coordinators out there. Google it, ChatGPT it. I'm pretty sure they'll let you know. It's one or the other. It's not a concept. It's a scheme. It's the offensive design for an offensive line that Shanahan, McVay, and all them been doing since the Denver days. Since they've been doing it. Since Shanahan dad did it. Actually, they're probably the ones that invented. James Football, what's up, my dude? How you doing, man? Thank you for being here with me. So let's not get that confused. And please hit up any content creators that are saying around west wide zone concept. Because say it's not a concept. And say Gravy said, tell them to look it up. Because the guys that know football get pissed off about it. And I'm one of them. Because they say they make yourself look bad. They just let you say it. But I gotta tell you guys that I'll make you guys look stupid. The guys that know football. Rafa, what's up? Furbo, what's up? There we go. Becoming up date, my opinion. And shout out to the 11 people that's up in. We'll get more. Tell everybody. Say Gravy's on. Tell them. Holler at me. I'm taking all mess right now. My opinion is with it. But purple. My opinion. I want to see the offensive line. I think the offensive line had got better. JPJ, I think is a crybaby. Great football player. But since last year, I've been saying to dude, ever since we wanted him to be center, there's a reason why for that. And I'm gonna go in the past. He's not playing center now, okay? Because Linderbaum is who I wanted. I said that when I knew he was gonna be a free agent, and they didn't have the money to get him. But let me tell you this: the reason why he couldn't play center or didn't play center because he gets concussed. He has a problem getting concussions. Why in the hell would you want your center that has a problem with concussions since college playing center in the NFL? That's the reason. That's the reason. He gets concussed playing wide zone scheme as a guard. And please don't tell me that in wide zone scheme that you pull, everybody pulls. Right? You play gap, you pull. Yeah, that's fine. John Studios, what's up, man? Trey Zone is a guy, and I hope I answered your question. In my opinion, I'm not high on JPJ like everybody else is. That people get his jerseys is a great story. We're a story type franchise. Feel good story. Let's go get the fucking wide receiver that brother died and all this shit, and he ain't even making the breaking the 10 catches last year or something like that. Disappointing, dude. What are we doing with our second round pick? Stoops better get busy. I'm start questioning his fight take. I'm gonna start questioning his fight take. It wasn't all Pete Carroll saying that he's a GM. Pete Carroll probably had a little bit more say than normally, but that was a mistake. And I don't expect a lot from Jack Bates either. Oh, let's make him a tight end, 225-pound tight end. Where the hell you get that at? Where you get that? Oh, he can play a 313 personnel. Nah, he can't. He's a receiver, and he's a play receiver. He ain't gonna play tight end because he's too freaking small. He ain't a slide, can't create separation. He can if he does his shit right. Maybe he should go over there to what's his name that we had Renfro and learn how to run routes. Why don't we do that? Or maybe we can kick it with Trey Tucker that's still learning how to run routes, short routes. And maybe they could get together and enlighten each other on how to run routes because that's the receivers we got. Malik Benson, a rookie, is running better routes than the guys that we had there 2 and 4 years. Ain't that a bitch? What do you guys think about that? Okay, let's talk about Kunston. I had to finish my wide receiver for Ralph. But I'll answer your question right here, studio. Do you agree that this guy, well, he could be a backup center. He played center before his senior year. I believe it was 125 snaps at center, 126 snaps at center. I did my research on this dude. He played left tackle for college. He ain't gonna play left tackle in the pros. I don't give a shit if he's 6'7". He's six. You know what makes it worse? That he's 6'7" and that he has 32.5-inch arms. That is untackleable per se. You ain't gonna play tackle if you got 32.5-inch arms. And if you want to look up, there's maybe 4 tackles that have been semi-successful. Maybe 1 Pro Bowler. Logan Mankins was one. He went to Fresno State. He was a big guy. His arms were maybe 32, 5, something like that. Closer to 33, and he became a guard. Having short arms in the NFL and trying to play tackle is not going to work, bro. So he's going to play guard. And he played a good guard. But the thing is, he's never played guard before, ever. Ever. So he's versatile and maybe could switch down the guard. But we got to know that. We got to know that. Making a switch from tackle to guard probably is easier, but I got to check it out, bro. But a lot of people are penciling him in to. I think he's going to be a backup right now. I have a lot of intentions with him. Oh, that's Zoom. Coons. Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought you meant Zoom. Well, now you know. Now I know. Now you know how I feel about Zoom. Now you know how I feel about Zoom. We got another tight end. That's great. Maybe I might kick that fullback out because nowadays, the way football is nowadays, is that your tight end is a better athlete than a big, slow, big fullback where all you can do is just run a flat. The tight ends that could run routes. So that's intertwining in with the NFL. You don't need a big, slow, big fullback anymore. That's unnecessary. It's like you don't need a 250-pound linebacker anymore. That's unnecessary. You don't need a 270-pound tight end. We know that. The tight ends, Bo, they put in another tackle for that, in my opinion. Nowadays, and Kubiak does that. Kubiak brings in another tackle. If you want to block, what's the best thing to do is bring in another tackle. That's what I do now. I bring in another tackle and have 2 tight ends. One of them could play a receiver, and the other one could run routes too. Tight ends nowadays run routes, bro. You don't have to have a blocking tight end. They're slow. They're too big, And tight end is a major asset. If you have, we have the best tight end that I've seen. I want to say maybe a year or two ever. That's what I want to say. I can't say enough how good we have with Brock Bowers. We manipulated Brock Bowers last year. We played him when he was hurt. We got him hurt. And we're probably going to do the same thing this year because our receivers aren't that good. Aren't that good. We know what Brock Bowers can do. They know what Brock Bowers can do. And if you have a good tight end, bro, if you go in 12 personnel, basically what it is, bro, you put your if you have good two tight ends, that's why this trading Myers. Myers is a good blocker, but that's not he hits he chips a defensive end. If you look at his tape, he chips a defensive end, gets him on the block, and he goes on a route, and he can catch the football. You need that guy. And Cooch, well, I can't say his name right. He's a big guy, and he probably could do the same thing. We have another guy like that, I guess. I know. But you bring in another tackle, have your two tight ends go on routes, bro. That's what they're doing now. And these tight ends are 265, 255. Bowers is a big dude. Is a mismatch, bro. A safety can't cover that dude. A safety can't cover Myers or Mayer. You gonna drop back. You gonna drop back your defensive end that's supposed to be pass rushing, but covering the tight end. I'll do it all day. Something's open right there. Running back, little flat. Running back up the seam. What they do to us, bro. Exactly what they do to us. What Kansas City does to us and Kelsey gets busy. You think Kelsey's over here blocking? You see that? Hell no, he's not. You think Andrews is over here blocking most of the time? Nah, bro. You think Likely's over there blocking? He got money to go to another team. He blocks so much. He was catching passes, scoring touchdowns. Nowadays, tight ends are scoring touchdowns. And you have another tackle. You get, look at the epitome of that is what Grant did. Remember Grant was out there? Was like, Grant looked good. He was just an extra tackle, bro. He was playing a big tight end job. He was doing what a blocking tight end does. So I don't know how all of us can say, Grant, he did a good job out there. He was an extra tackle. He was playing a tight end. He wasn't eligible, but we just went and we were in 12 personnel. Myers, Mayer, and Bowers out there. Bowers in. He's out there running routes. That's what football is now. Football ain't fullback. Once in a while, you get an I formation to do that shit, but when does it work? You might see Baltimore, Pittsburgh do that shit. I want to be like them. I want to be hitting 40 with Brock Bowers up the seam, Mayer 30 yards up the seam. That's what I want. Entertaining shit. You want to be boring ass fullback, slow developing play to go. That ain't. Nah. Stop. It ain't like that no more. I guarantee football ain't that way. And if you don't get out the old school, like the way we are, let's throw deep passes. Let's get skinny ass receivers that just know how to do one thing. We're fast, all that. JSN ain't the fastest dude in the world, and he got 1,800 receiving yards. To me, you don't need a blocking tight end, bro. And look at Kubiak. He had that Disley kid. He had that other guy. He had two tight ends and bringing another tackle. Ain't no defensive end getting around a big ass 320-pound tackle. And he's good. And Grant must have been doing something right for him to do that. You're gonna see a lot of tight end on routes, bro, because he's not confident in the guys we have at receiver, which makes me say, why didn't we do that? We wasted a pick on Betch. But I'm not gonna give up on that dude. We're all into development. Do we think the second round pick needs to develop? He As a number two pick, got the ball thrown to 20 times, I believe, and Thornton over here, fourth round pick, getting the ball all the time, but not catching because he only knows how to do one route. And he's a stick figure, and he gets bumped off the line of little ass DB. I seen it twice. I didn't like Crawford either. I didn't like this dude. Need to get hydrated. First damn rookie practice. He ain't ready. He ain't ready to do this. But hey, he's a number two pick, and I question it. But we were probably in the mode that Max wasn't going to be there. He came back, so they probably valued him high. We haven't seen him yet. There was people over there saying, "Who's this Max's kid? Who the fuck is this guy? Why we getting this dude?" And then look at it. He's number one, working with the ones right now. So if we're gonna think that Crawford was gonna replace Max, if we got Quiddy Pay, and we're saying Max needs help, but we get Quiddy Pay. Quiddy Pay's not a decorated pass rusher. He averages 5 sacks. So we're gonna get 15 sacks from Max's normal 10 he gets. 30 something, $37 million for 10 sacks. If you think that's okay, fine. Then I guess he's elite. But a defensive end is supposed to get sacks like Max, not have 28 stops of running play. It's easy to make Max out of the picture. Play action. And how many times did we see it? Philly did it with Saquon Barkley extensively. Max so bad wanted to get Saquon that he went inside and tried to stop him. They just bounce it outside. Fake to him. He goes inside. He's out the picture. Max is noticeably always losing contain. And now in this defense, our 3-4 base defense, he has to keep contained. He has to be a pass rusher because he can't go inside and stop the run like he normally does. He probably will. He probably will. But Crawford, the dude, gosh, man, I don't know. I guess this dude on number two, and it's like we didn't value the guy to where we were at number two. We had to drop down to go get him. So what really was the value for Crawford? Oh, we'll drop down a couple spots, then we'll pick this dude. He'll be there. You were so confident that he was going to be there. He was on your board quick. As a number two pick, you've been looking at him for a while. Then he didn't show up there. Because I didn't even know who the fuck he was. No, Stooks was the number two pick, right? Crawford was lower. I think, my opinion, because this draft really didn't get me, man. This draft really didn't get me. And I said it. It was better than last year's draft because we have more to talk about, this draft. A little bit more decorated players. I don't know who the hell Bash was. Third round for this guy is high, bro. So he needs to produce. I think a third round pick needs to get in the game, be straight up number two. Straight up number two. He has to be. Get in the game on certain situations. And from what I'm hearing, he's a pass rusher. So he was a third round pick with Zoom from a guy we're going to put at guard that's never played guard before. He's learning how to play guard. The development here is just long term, and I want to win. And we're developing our number one overall pick in the draft. Now, let me tell you this. The studio got one more question. I'll read this. Stooks, 25-year-old rookie, going to be 29 at the end of his rookie contract. I didn't agree with that, man. Hey, good safety. You better be fucking good if you're 25 years old. You better be good if you're 25 years old, bro. You're a grown ass man out there right now, bro. You're a grown ass man out there right now. And you're playing against boys right now. You're freaking almost older. You're older than Chin. You're older than Pound Mao. You're the oldest one out there in the secondary, bro. What the hell's up? You better do something. You grown ass man, dude. Nobody talking about that though, huh, studio? Huh, babe? No one talking about that. I told my wife what my little agenda was gonna be today, and I said I wasn't gonna yell. I'm not yelling, right, babe? I'm not yelling. I'm just concerned. My concern is legit, don't you think? My opinion, studio. Do you think my concerns? Is anybody telling you the concerns of this team? My concern is not development. I'm beyond development, bro. I want dudes. These guys may be dudes, but they need to make our number one overall pick needs to make an impact now. Our second round pick needs to make an impact now. Our 2 third-round picks need to make impacts. They need to do something. He should have been. He grown ass man, bro. He should have been. Nobody's saying that, but you and me. Now let me tell you something about this quarterback stuff. That I hear you guys. I respect it. What all these guys are saying, right? What all our new content creators are saying, and it just astonishes me that we are so stuck on a narrative now, because there's been a couple of guys that, and I've heard a couple of them say that being a successful quarterback is starting in your rookie year, the record is real bad. It's not good. Okay. That development starting that year, it adds up to what I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. Now I got a little list and I'm going to read off it because I did some homework. But this is the way I think to the people that's listening to me right now. My opinion, John Studios, whoever else is, welcome. Support me. Support my opinion. It's just my opinion. And I've been changed. I've changed. Okay? But tell me, do you sit? And I'm not talking about that 1 year. That 1 year is bad, but they learn, bro. And I'm going to give you proof that they learn. Okay? Caleb Williams, first year, dude, he won 5 games, right? That second year, he won 8. Bryce Young, he won 2 games starting. That second year, he won 6. Trevor Lawrence won 3 games his first year. That second year, he won 9. Joe Burrow, 2 games won his rookie year he started. He came out and did 10 wins. Kyler Murray had 5 wins his rookie year starting. Came back and got 8. Baker Mayfield had 7. I give Baker Mayfield some credit. He was with Cleveland. He won 6. That doesn't prove my point, though. Baker Mayfield is the only one. Okay, out of these guys. Jared Goff, number 1 pick. 0-7 his rookie year. 0-7. Won 11 games that year, too. Jameis Winston, that rookie year, he won 6 games. Year after that, with all this successful playing, learning the ropes, learning the speed, learning his receivers that he got. Even the new ones he got better. He learned. All these guys learned. He got 9 games and then won 6 the next year. The year before, the rookie year. Is that proof? Does that change your mind? Now, we might say, Bryce Young, he sucks. Caleb Williams is a way better quarterback. We don't know what's his name before that started. He got hurt, and he won like 3 games. What? Let's see if he improves this year. I bet you he does. Now, whatever excuse you make of this, the information I just gave you, I'm not, you can take it any way you want. But right here, look it up. That if you start and you're not successful, the next year with all that knowledge and all that get up and all that pressure that you get, you realize and you win football games. Sometimes 3 extra games better. What do you think about that? I haven't heard nobody come up with that. And it was easy. Because that's the way I think. That's the way I think. And these guys, obviously, if you're picking number 1 overall, these are all were number 1 overall picks. And you could come to this record 22, 80, whatever it was. But the next year when they start, and you're talking about development and getting better, obviously, with this information that I just gave you, they do. They do. They get better. So you're telling me sitting that next year, you're going to go from that quarterback that's playing, Kirk Cousins is going to win 5 games. You're going to come up there and win 8 games? Are you telling me that? No, it's going to start your first year. You're going to win 5 games. And then your second year, you're going to win. It's here. It's here. And then they don't sit here and say, well, let Kirk Cousins get all them hits. Let him. You're going to see him quicker. You're going to see Mendoza faster. Let Kirk Cousins get hurt. And put him fucking AOC. And see what fucking happens. The same shit that AOC always did. The same stuff that AOC always did. Fernando Mendoza is going to start. If he starts next year, he's going to start next year. Okay? And Aiden O'Connell's going to be his backup. Why? Because he's a number 1 overall pick, and he's better. He's better than AOC right now. So all this shit you're hearing, there's a competition. I hear these guys, they're not agreeing with this competition. Kirk Cousins is the starter. I got to deal with it. But I can sure bitch why he started. I can sure bitch about it. Tell me I can't. You want Mendoza to play sometime this season. What if it's game 1? What if it's game 2? What if we does is Derek Carr shit beats out Kirk Cousins? You think Kirk Cousins solidified this shit with not even going in the preseason? He doesn't know this offensive line. He doesn't know the receivers. Yes, he's with the first team, but he's just as in all as Fernando Mendoza is. Yeah, well, he knows the system. 1 year with Kubiak as offensive coordinator. And so, what are you gonna do, in my opinion? What are you gonna do, in my opinion, when Kirk Cousins gets demolished because we say take these hits? We don't want Mendoza to take these hits. What are you gonna do when they trot out AOC and not Mendoza, and you're wearing that number 15? You gonna wear it when he plays? There ain't no number 12s out there in the stadium. I guarantee you fucking that. I guarantee you ain't no number 12s out there. If they are, it's probably what? Rich Gannon. Wasn't he 12? How pissed would you be if they tried out AOC over there? Be comfortable with that because he needs to develop. Remember what Dion said. I never sat the bench and said, God damn, I learned something today. That's from a baller. That's from a baller. I was very disappointed that he said, I ain't ready. If you ain't ready, then you shouldn't have been the number 1 pick. I bet you tripping that they picked you number 1 overall. If you think that you weren't that guy, I don't want you there. We should be pissed about that. AOC won't make it to week 1 game. Dang, trot out Mendoza. How you feel about that, bro? Is he ready? Is he ready? He'll be ready then, huh? When he's out there. He gonna learn fast, bro. There's no difference of playing him now or later. You think they ain't gonna try to bum rush Kirk Cousins' ass? You think they're gonna be softer because Kirk Cousins playing and they go harder because Mendoza? Because he's a rookie? Hell yeah, they are. What better way to learn, bro? What better way to learn? And I know that in my opinion, but I could bitch about it. I'm telling you, I could bitch about it, bro. I could say, you know what? I think this dude is better than Kirk Cousins. And I'm saying it's shown me the wonderful, great season that Kirk Cousins did for all this good uppings that the Raider Nation are giving him. What did he do last year? You bring up Kirk Cousins. Oh, got 4,000 yards 7 times. It wasn't with us. And you damn sure didn't get that last year. We're going to have the same offensive line when Mendoza gets in there. That offensive line needs to be set and ready to go game one. We got the best offensive line coach ever, right? Isn't that what we're saying? I agree with that. Damn good offensive line coach. Look, I even went down and got Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck won 11 games his rookie year, and then 11 the second one. And then Cam Newton won 6, and then won 8 the second year. With all that, you think they didn't learn nothing playing? Some of these guys are in Super Bowls, bro. And what's our problem? He was pretty good in the Vikings. How long ago was that, bro? What year in the Vikings, in my opinion? That 1 year that Kubiak was there, when they went 7-8 or something like that? 7-9? Is that what it is? And we're gonna expect that now. All of a sudden, he's gonna be like Minnesota because Kubiak's there. 1 year with Kubiak. Kubiak's only been an offensive coordinator 3 years, with 3 different teams, and it was successful winning the Super Bowl and won. I give him that. John Studio says, "Gravy, that would be what would be your reactions if the Raiders drafted Ty Simpson, the only other quarterback drafted in the first round with a number 1 overall pick?" I would have disagreed even more. And if he would have picked him, I'd say he should fucking start. Because dude, why did our value of that number 1 pick go so low? Go so low, and we're questioning a 6 overall pick with Genty. I know it's 2 different positions, but what's the fucking difference? What is the difference? Where did our Raiderism go? That number 1 pick needs to be playing. What happened to that? Ty Simpson wasn't better than Fernando Mendoza. We needed other things. We had Kirk Cousins already. We wanted to roll with Kirk Cousins already. And our intentions was to sit this dude. Man, I disagreed with it from the get. From the get, I've been saying this dude should start. And I still think it. I know he's not. But like I said, I could bitch about it. And I'm probably not going to, he's probably going to go a ways. Kirk Cousins is going to play all right. But what if this dude gets 5 wins, bro? And we have an 800-yard receiver. And Brock Bowers is out here kicking ass, and that's the only dude we got. And we talk about, getting in 12 personnel, and these guys are playing base. That's what you want to do in that situation. I ain't with all this. He's learning the playbook. He's getting the terminology down. Bro, what the fuck has he been doing for 3 months then? 4 months. Well, when did Tom Brady become this guru of evaluating talent with a guy that's provided elite competition just for him to go there? I was on that notion. Tom Brady had the best, well-paid offensive line ever on the years that he played. What did they do at Tampa? Why do you think he went to Tampa Bay? One for the head coach in the offense, and the other was the offensive line was the highest paid best. He had no flaws in his offensive line. When did Tom Brady become this evaluator of talent that he can make the decision to sit a guy? As far as I'm concerned, every decision that Tom Brady made has been crap, dude. Yes, he was a good player. That doesn't mean he's a good own. Yeah, we'll get your knowledge in the quarterback way. You sat. You sat because Drew Bledsoe was better than you. You went in because you got hurt. You took advantage of your situation. You took advantage of your opportunity. No one could say not. But that offensive line with Bledsoe was the highest paid. And they got better when they got you. They paid more, but hundreds of millions of dollars. Just who was the receivers he threw to? He had so much time. Get open every year. And he had one of the best offensive coordinators in the game, one of the best defensive coaches in the game, one of the best head coaches in the game. How could you go no wrong? Yes, they're gonna suck without you because you gave everything away. All them offensive linemen got old. All them offensive linemen, they even come on, guys. The dude wanted Stafford. That didn't pan out, right? He's sold Tom Brady. That didn't pan out. From what I heard, he wanted Geno Smith. If he had so much say, what happened to that? He wanted a quarterback. They got cut. And a bunch of other things that he was involved in. So is this a mistake that Tom Brady said he needs to sit? He said he needed to sit because he turned out to be the GOAT. But are you ever going to admit that Drew Bledsoe was better than you, dude? Hey, if Tom Brady is going to put his input into that quarterback, I don't have a problem with it, right? But the head coach needs to make that decision, okay? And I could think that decision is wrong, but you can't come back at me to try to degrade my opinion that this dude should play. It's the same shit. He wants to put Fernando Mendoza in his shoes. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just disagree with it. If Fernando Mendoza is so good, he would win games right now. He would learn right now. And if people are saying that, oh, he's gonna lose his confidence. Well, I don't want a guy like that gets bad in the head and all jacked up. I don't need another David Carr. That was Derek Carr's problem. Well, shit, at least David had an excuse. He got sacked 70 times. Derek Carr was just mentally fucked. He used to crawl like a little baby in the locker room when people told him shit. I don't go tell Mark. Mark got tired of his shit. That's why he didn't back him up. What you think? You think I don't hear shit? We don't need another guy like that. I know Tom Brady has a lot to say in the NFL. It's great that he's an owner. But get your money and show our quarterback what's up. Of your Tom Brady, and your knowledge will be better impacted for him if he plays. You said that doesn't mean he needs to. You might think it's a good idea but he ain't Tom Brady, bro. Derek Carr lasted a decade, in my opinion. What's his winning record? Are we gonna say he didn't have nobody? He didn't have no defense, all that shit. Dude, did you see? We got to get into this. I'll do it. My opinion. You like going with me? Derek Carr lost us games, bro. Derek Carr, the game. Look at the Cincinnati game. He threw that fucking ball, bro. He did that to us. How many times was it fourth down, third and manageable, and this fucking dude throws the ball in the dirt out of bounds? How many times did he fumble the ball and have a touchback as he's reaching out for a fucking first? How many times did he do that? How many times did he fuck? Look at his winning record. It'll take him 2 years. He stuck around for 10 years. Yeah, how many games did he win? I don't want Derek Carr even touching this dude. People say bring Derek Carr back to be a. I don't want Derek Carr even around this guy. I don't want him doing Derek Carr shit. In my opinion, are you one of them dudes that say, "Oh, I love the Shield more than the player"? Yeah, you wrong then. I know you ain't like that. Derek Carr played for 10 years. Yes, he broke records. Yes, he better break records playing 10 years. I think the last one that played that long was Kenny Stabler. Dude, I don't think there's a lot of players that are gonna talk shit on Derek Carr. All right, but being a wuss in the locker room is strong to me. Okay, he didn't. When did Derek Carr get his way? Answer me that. How many times did you hear John Gruden want to get rid of this dude? John Gruden ain't gonna talk shit on Derek Carr. He won him some football games. He made his record hot. Derek Carr's record ain't hot. He'll take Derek Carr. He'll take Derek Carr probably 2 seasons to get to 500, or maybe a full season of going 17-0, or to go over 500. He lost that many games. He did some stupid shit, bro. I held my breath for Derek Carr for so long, bro. I was a Fresno State fan, bro. I watched this dude and his brother and Paul Pinniger and all these other motherfuckers that were there. I was season ticket holder, bro. Red seats at Fresno State watching Derek Carr play. I was in love with this dude. I was happy he went to the Raiders, bro. I was ecstatic when we got him. I jumped for joy. He didn't pan out to me. 1 year you give Derek Carr. I just hope this nation isn't already doing what we did to that man to Fernando Mendoza. I know you're a fan, bro. That's why I understand what you're saying about Derek Carr. But see, that he did a lot of crazy shit. He did shit that made us lose games, bro. We lost games because of him. The games he won, we remember the comeback and all this shit and doing all this and whoop de whoop, yeah. But it didn't matter. His overall success for the Raiders is more losses than wins. No matter what, the only dude I thought he made better was Zay Jones, bro. Darren Waller, bro. Maybe Hunter Renfro was an assassin route running. I think Hunter Renfro would have made any quarterback good. Derek Carr was just a quarterback. Omar Cooper was an amazing wide receiver. We got rid of him. Crabtree made Derek Carr better. Crabtree was a dog at 49ers, and he didn't change when he came to us. Matter of fact, wasn't it Darius Carr's best season with Crabtree? Crabtree was hella good, bro. So my opinion, since me and you were chatting, what do you think about this second year of a quarterback starts? What I gave you right there, was that crazy of me, or was that did it just go past? Did that just go past you? That was it. Did anybody hear that? What's your response to that, bro? Tell me. If a quarterback that starts as a number one overall pick, I read you last 10 years, bro. Everyone, and there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There's 10 of them, and then there was Cam Ward. He got 3 wins, and am I the only one that thinks this, or you're not paying attention to it? If a guy starts, if the guy starts, and he goes through his shit, which we're already taking it because we must be taking losses because we're a lot of us are saying we're gonna win 7 games, 6 games. So that's not a winning season, bro. Okay, so we don't expect a lot from Kirk Cousins already. So why don't we just throw a guy that can do it, that we expect to do it? So the only thing I'm saying is that you don't win games when you're a rookie and you're the number one. So you think we can win 8 games with Kirk Cousins? Is that your thing? I've been on crazy shows where guys say we win with 12. And so I think, so you think, what if Kirk Cousins balls out and gets us to the playoffs, bro? Do you think that? And and what are we gonna do with Fernando then? Have him sit another year? We'll be the embarrassment of the fucking NFL if we aren't already sitting our first. So we agree. I know. I'm in the minority of thinking this. I like that, studio. You're with me too, bro. You reading my shit. You're reading my shit. You must be listening to me when I'm talking to myself in the car or something. You know, this is my scenario. We ain't gonna win a lot of games next year, and if Fernando Mendoza plays, I dig the fact that he's learning. He's gonna hiccup, and then I would agree on the season. I would agree on a season that if we get 4 wins, 5 wins like that, I would agree. Okay, but I don't want to say tank. That's not in my thing. That's not in my shit, bro. Tanking. I'm with winning games and trying to win games, and he'll get better by learning that. And I just showed you right now in this narrative that you win games your second year drastically, 3 to 4 games better. And it ain't like Goff went 0-7 as a starter when he went in there. And then next year learned, right? And won 11 games. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have that? John Studios is in my shit right here because I this win these games with Mendoza. What would the impact would be if we get Jeremiah? Man, he already pro. He can play pro right now. He doesn't need to be in college another year. He don't need to be in college another year. He go right now. Get that dude, and then we'll get better. We trade, get up, and get homeboy from Miami, Malachi, Tony. Can you imagine that shit? Ooh, ooh. You like that? The studios? Malachi Tony and Jeremiah Smith on the same team with Malik Benson. We don't need no Thornton. We don't need no Bash. We don't need Trey Tucker out. Trey Tucker who? Trey Tucker who? We're gonna say Malik Benson. Trey Tucker who? Now I don't know if y'all agree with me, but you're hearing about Malik Benson right now. I'm not gonna get all happy with it and get, you know, we're hearing Malik Benson's getting busy. We ain't hearing Thornton getting busy. We ain't hearing Bash is getting busy. We ain't even hearing Trey Tucker getting busy. All we hear is Malik Benson. How better is Fernando Mendoza gonna get throwing to Cedric Jackson and Lobe and fuck all these other dudes? How good do you think he's getting sitting there? I don't know, man. That is a gift for me. You put that note, I would let me. Kirk Cousins could fuck around and win 9 games, bro. And then we're gonna let him go. And we set this dude for 2 years. We just joke of the NFL, bro. That just tells you right there that it was a waste, that we didn't think about this pick at all. Or maybe we can say Tom Brady did it. We'll blame him. There we go, man. There we go. We have no excuses. Number 2 at running back, Brock Bowers, the tight end, Jeremiah Three, wide receiver, Makai Tony, wide receiver 2, be wrapped up. That's the mission. That's the mission. And we're saying, and studios, in my opinion, you tell me this, bro. You guys that'll with me, and I thank you for that. You guys that'll with me. And we don't expect to win games with Kirk Cousins. Why wouldn't we throw? Why would Mendoza play? If Mendoza plays the same as Kirk Cousins, the offensive line is gonna be what it is. There's no difference if it's with Kirk Cousins. Why you saying smash Kirk Cousins? That means you're gonna see Mendoza sooner. You get me? You get my drift? You get what I'm saying? Unless you're gonna try the AOC out there. And if I see that, bro, come on now. Come on now. If that if that do that, it's gonna be a. I'm gonna question the pick. I'm already doing that. I'll quit. Wouldn't you question that number 1 overall pick if Kirk Cousins comes out here and smashes the game? 8, 9 games? We'll be wearing number 8 jerseys. Fuck them 15s, bro. For real. Come on now. Let me tell you, the thing that I'm thinking about with Kubiak, bro, is that it takes a special dude, bro. Special. And all these dudes that are doing this are special. Special men can call plays and be a head coach. I can't do that. I've tried in my younger days of coaching. I couldn't do it. The patience and the know with all. And I know Kubiak has it. He's been groomed to do it. But he's been in the NFL a long time, but the experience of being an offensive coordinator is only 3 years, bro. He's been a quarterback coach, but quarterback coaches stay in their lane, bro. They teach a quarterback. They teach footwork. They teach fundamentals and things like that. They teach. The play is there, dude. Believe you me, Mendoza. I don't know why he said that. I don't know why it was the worst thing. He needs some media skills or something like that. But he's the only guy that said, "Hey, unless you weren't the number 1 pick overall, you don't say shit like that, bro." Because we take it and accept. That made us accept more that this dude is not ready, and he is. Foresee what? What did I say, man? I forgot. The pickups. I can't see what the outcome's gonna be. But damn, why don't we try? We wanted to try to go get this number one quarterback, and then we want to sit the motherfucker. We want to sit the dude. Everybody was saying, let's just try. Let's just try to get this quarterback number one and then sit him. How could you agree with that? Am I the only one that thinks this? You better not sit 2 years, or I'll be doing. I'll be questioning this pick, and I'll be questioning this stab. I'll be questioning fight tech big time. I'm already doing that, bro. With getting 26-year-old fucking safeties and Dash and Thornton starting, agreeing to start Thornton when you knew he's not ready. I agree that Thornton's not ready. Yes, you got to try to win the Super Bowl. My opinion. Get out of that. Get out of that. You conceded to the mediocrity, bro. And yes, we are. But we don't have to be like that. We don't have to say it. I'm not. But I can say what's real, bro. I ain't fake, man. I ain't gonna sit here and give you bullshit. Grammy's real, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and give you bullshit and bullshit stats and try to convince you. I'm not gonna try to convince you. I'm gonna try to prove to you, which I just did, that if you play your rookie season, you get better and win more football games than you did the year before. So everybody that's saying we're going ass the first year, expect that. He's gonna learn. He ain't gonna learn on the bench. Well, the only way we could, if you think we got a super defense and we can win the Super Bowl, bro. And I think we have some very respectable content creators that you see, in my opinion, because I see you in their chat. Have a different opinion than me with Genty. If we think that this kid from Arkansas is gonna take time, and I hear 60-40, 50-50, that what's his name, Henderson, is gonna take Genty's job, you gotta be out your mind, bro. He's bigger, he's faster. Have you seen Genty lay the wood on motherfuckers? Have you seen this dude run the football? It looks like to me every time Henderson touches the ball, he loses it. He fumbles. Oh, but he's gonna develop and lose that. Dude, it's 95-5, my opinion, in my book. Now, Genty might not add up to his 6th overall pick. That's the confrontation that I have, that other content creators have with me. And there's others. I mentioned them today. But I had a lot to say, bro. And then I'm not gonna sit here and say that a 4th round pick, and he got picked there for a reason, okay, that this dude's gonna take carries or overall. He might, okay, but don't get that he's 20 pounds bigger, 18 pounds bigger, and way faster. That this dude is a better running back than Genty. And there's a difference, running back and wide receiver. You know, we as a nation, Raider Nation as a fan base, I look at it. This dude, bro, is a the dude wants to get to the if is Washington, yeah, my bad. We're so Pete Carroll got us so much into speed that we over a guy that has the ability to break tackles is more of an asset to me than speed. Because let me tell you why. Okay, before you go all off, and you said the right thing right there. Okay, they're good. There you go. That's the way of thinking, and I'm glad you think that way. John Studio, here we go. John Studios has a good little thing about the fumbling. He fumbles and runs up the back of his blockers more often than not, but can't take away 4-3 speed. Big guy, tall guy, run straight. Maybe that might be a fumbling problem. Okay, big guys doesn't mean they're better. The ability to break tackles and the ability to deviate angles in contact. That's what Genty does. That's what Genty has. If it's harder to tackle you than it is to you, because I'm a running back coach, bro, and I don't tolerate turnovers. And I bet you the running back coach for the Raiders doesn't tolerate it either. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. If he had 4-3 speed and he was that big, I'm pretty sure he would have been up there first, second round. But the reason why he has a fumbling problem. And you could try to coach that and do drills for it. But do you think that this guy didn't do that? Do you think that this guy didn't do ball security drills at all? Going into the season, they have that in the back of their minds that this guy has a problem turning over the football. I would. I don't care how good you are. You fumble one time, it's unacceptable. I don't care who hit you. And for all the Luby lovers, he has a fumbling issue. I don't care who hit him. I don't care if it was all fucking Lawrence Taylor hit the dude and he fumbled. It doesn't matter. A fumble's a fumble. It doesn't matter who did it. You did it. It's unacceptable. A turnover is unacceptable. And I don't care if we recovered it. It's still a fumble. It's not a stat, but you let go of the football. I think Luby, he's an asset to this team, special team wise. He can return. But don't tell me before what he did, that in the back of your mind was over there, hang on to the football, dude. And that the two times that he fumbled, that don't say that it was in the back of your mind saying that because it was me. What is he doing back there getting the football? He should be. He's a good special teams player, bro. You can make a living being that, and he's good on our team like that. So he is an asset to this football team, Luby. He's not the fucking CMC times two, like we said. But hey, whatever you Raider fans want to say, I adapted to it, but I would never do that. I used to do that. There we go, John Studios again. I know you like Luby. I like Luby, bro. But he has a fumbling problem. I just don't like that aspect of it. And Henderson has a problem with it. And it doesn't go by years. And you get hit harder in the pros than you do in college. And 10 times in 2 years or something like that or 3 years is not getting hit. You can't hang on to the football. You got a problem with it. Fumbles ain't good. There you go. Here you go. There you go. John Studios. Thanks for the question, Mo. For me, I have never seen a running back get knocked sideways during a tackle more than I have Mike Washington. I don't know if it's a balance thing. He had an ankle injury. He runs on the other ankle. And he has a tendency to run high. He's a high runner. He's tall. And he breaks loose, bro. And I give him that. But he doesn't have the ability to break tackles. He runs away from tackles, and the speed is a big time asset. But let me tell you something about speed guys. Okay, receivers, running backs. When if you're that fast, borderline 4.2, right? He's a 4.3, low 4.3 guy. That's fast, bro. 5.5 in the NFL 5'4", I mean 4'4", 4'5" in the NFL is fast. Those dudes are fast, bro. And we think we downplay a 4'4" like it ain't shit. Okay, JSN 4'4", 4'4" guy, 4'5" guy, right? 1,800 yards, precise routes. You get that. Trey Tucker doesn't do that, right? Trey Tucker's fast. So what Trey Tucker and Thornton and these guys that are fast, when they're in high school, they're fast, and that's what they get away with their whole life. Their whole life is speed, getting fast. They start because they're faster than everybody. When they're in college, they're faster than everybody. Okay, but they're really those 4'4" guys. They ain't cherished as much as Thornton or things or people like that. Okay, they get away with way more on the field because they're fast than they do running routes. In the NFL, running routes because the DBs are just as fast as you. They can hang with you deep. But if you can't do that double move correctly or right, then they're covering you. If you can't get your step and look the other way and move your hips and do all this other step and stutter step and don't run. Why do you think routes? We think routes are 5, 10, 15, 20 yards. No, routes are 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. That's what the playbook says. Why would you step on a dime at the 5-yard line? Why do you think a slat's 3 yards, 2 yards, a step and go? Why do you think that is? Quick slant. Why do you think a post is 12, 17, 19? Why do you think it's that? Because the DB knows 5, 10, 15. A DB will lie to you. A DB can lie to you and do other shit all they want. Safeties can't lie. If you try to come up and fake a blitz, you got to run 20 yards back. That's tough to do. Only a couple of guys can do that. And it's been that way for 100 years, bro. So wide receivers get away in college and high school just being fast. And some of them, there was Hayward Bay. Fast like a motherfucker. Look, number 1 pick. What happened? Why do you think wide receivers can't play both ways or don't play both ways? You got Hunter, but now what is he doing? But Hunter ain't super fast. Damn good corner. Why do you think DBs go both ways? Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders. Why do you think those guys play both ways? Because they could do different shit. They're not just fast. And those guys were the fastest in the league at their position. Their primary, secondary. You don't see receivers playing DB or somewhere out there. Who did? Who? Who does? What receiver did that besides Hunter? And they tried it. Got hurt. Couldn't hang. I think these last 2 Heismans were the worst ever in college football. And then I'm not a real fan of college football now. Those guys are 1 of 1. And all those guys are in the Pro Bowl. But that's just some input, dude, that I'm going to learn you. And you probably know that. But those guys are just fast. That's why Thornton was successful last year. It's not because he's a rookie. He just knows one thing. He's learning. He's a 4th-round pick. I expect him to learn. Trey Tucker, what? 3rd-round pick. He should be there now. He should have been there already. 2 years. Boom, you got it. You had plenty of dudes that go out. You had Devontae Adams there. You had Myers there for you to learn from. Myers ain't fast. Devontae Adams ain't fast. They're 4-4 guys, 4-5 guys. So you get what I'm saying? We've gotten all we could from Trey Tucker. We have to look forward for the other guy, Thornton. but I wasn't thinking that Thornton was going to start. We threw his ass out there, bro. I feel bad for the dude. He's skinny. He's tall as fuck. We were on, oh, he's gonna get 50-50 balls. How many times do you see a 50-50 ball in a real NFL game, bro? Once, twice. I don't expect them to be all out. To get in the game, speed matters, but you gotta have the other shit to be a number one guy. We don't have that number one guy. If we go to our fantasy land and say, hey, uh, we're gonna get Jeremiah Smith and Tony. I would love that shit, bro. Jerseys, box already. They're gonna be tight. They're gonna be damn good football players because they ball out. They do everything. Not only are they fast, they run routes great too. Dude, the freshmen out there playing and big time conferences and national championship games. What happened to that? Us thinking about that Mendoza. Yes, Mendoza had a genius. I say the great college minds. This dude had dudes playing elite level from James Madison. They ain't even Division One school. And dudes are balling out from James Madison, being number one picks, number two picks from Indiana. The fuck? That's coaching. So he could get coached. And so we don't think Kubiak could coach this dude in 4 months? You think that highly of your coach that he can't do it? If he's better, play him. So obviously we don't think he's better. He needs all this time to get better, and he's a number one overall pick. What did our value of picks go? I rather would have got someone else. We're bitching about the offensive line. I would have got one of the best tackles in the league. I would have traded down and got somebody better on the offensive line. And Kirk Cousins would have took us to promised land, like we say. We think that Kirk Cousins is going to take us to the promised land. And there ain't no difference year to year. Obviously, I show you year to year the difference of a rookie starts. They were on suck ass teams. And what the fuck were we? And when has a bridge quarterback worked for us? You're confident that we did the same shit that we did probably for the last 3 years or 4 years, really, since DC left. That was the only really competent receiver we had. Since DC. Steady 10 in the chat, bro. There we go. I like Boot. I want to trade for him. Boot's a good little guy. Quick, good route runner, scores touchdowns. That fool gets in the end zone. Donald's a good quarterback, bro. Donald's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. And do we have a JSN? Do we have that running game? Kirk Cousins isn't close to Donald. And I've said it to myself many a times, bro. It ain't like it's not a comparison, bro. So this is what we're doing now. We're comparing JSN to Trey Tucker. Because I've heard that before. I've heard the compare. Well, Trey Tucker had 700 yards. And JSN did this. Don't compare them dudes. Because the disrespect for JSN to put the category of Trey Tucker in there. I'm done with Trey Tucker. How do we know that, bro? Kirk Cousins is what he is. We calls, but you're already saying how good would Kubiak be if you're saying our offensive line is shitty? That offensive line needs to be ready to go right now. Why are we so stuck on development now? Why are we so stuck on that? You need development, but those are your late round picks. First, second, third round picks. They need to play. They need to be contributors to this football team. We haven't got that. So our offensive line is shitty, and we expect our offensive line is shitty, in my opinion, and we think that Kirk Cousins can win 8 games, 9 games. It's the same offensive line that you're gonna put Mendoza up there. He just might make a little bit more mistakes. He might do some rookie shit, but he's gonna get it out the way, and he probably won't make that mistake twice. What is he gonna learn sitting on the bench? He'll learn how to avoid a defensive end. He's gonna know where shit is on the field. He gonna know where the hashes are at, how to get there that fast. He's gonna know what things that uh, defensive coordinators are always gonna do to him because they go by what they see on tape. This too high safety worked against this guy, against Fernando, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna blitz during these downs. We're gonna do this. It's all effect, and he's gonna get better. It's gonna be all new to him the second year. And what is he gonna learn? Callous his ass up now. Let him get hit now. Let him know what it feels like. Because I told you already, that defensive end is going to hit just the same as that cornerback that's blitzing on the side. They're elite players. They're in the NFL for a reason. The hits are the same. Just one might knock the shit out of you. You're going to get hit, bro. I bring up last year, bro, because it was bad, bro. It was bad. I'm with the nepotism shit, but I don't put, you know, everybody the disrespect that we say Pete Carroll sucked. And the people that are saying that, come on, bro. Pete Carroll is a legend, and then if it wasn't that bad, bro, I would have had him around another year. I would have been Spy Tech and said, we got to do something with the staff because having your two sons as coordinators, run game and passing game coordinator, I know Chip Kelly wasn't with them. I know Chip Kelly wasn't with that at all. So you get a pissed off Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's that way. Chip Kelly's an aggressive coach. The demand of him, the demand of Chip Kelly is different than other coaches. Chip Kelly is a damn good football coach. He came to the Raiders, and normally what does that do? Chip Kelly brings his own guys in. None of the, I think he brought one guy that was an assistant analyst, right? He didn't want the two Carrolls as a running game coordinator and passing game coordinator. He didn't want that. That's not his shit. That's why it was so bad. And I know for damn sure he didn't want Geno Smith. And when did we see Geno Smith ever play that bad? By Jets or whatever. And that's just as bad as us. But he just trusts Geno Smith. And coaches do that. But you don't want to micromanage he's a coordinator. Chip Kelly is a coordinator. You don't micromanage your assistants. And he had to do that. He didn't want Brandon Carroll telling him how to run the football or be involved in running. And for Chip Kelly to for them to say that Chip Kelly's calling plays that they didn't even work on, who's the fucking run game coordinator? It's in the game plan. Why are you calling it? Where's the run game coordinator's responsibility? It was because when you get labeled a coordinator type role, a run game coordinator, it's on your resume that you coordinated something, and it's easier for get an offensive coordinator job in the future. That's why they were run game and passing game coordinator. Chip Kelly didn't have no say. And so he goes in, no win situation, listening to probably the bullshit because he knows more football, probably around Pete Carroll's, being educated like that. Chip Kelly is not a bad coach. He's a bad guy, but he's not a bad coach. I got, you know what? I don't know. It's not me. I wasn't with, I definitely wasn't with Patrick Graham. Do something, bro. We got, and I keep bringing up last year, and I don't want to do it because I just get pissed. But I know how to enter. This is my sister's show, and she said I usually get irate because I care what my team does, and what I would think is that this dude runs a zone, and Pete Carroll ran his zone, but there was no difference with Patrick Graham. Pittsburgh might have better players than we do on defense. That might make Patrick Graham successful a little bit. But if he does the shit he did here, there, the reputation of Pittsburgh Steelers having a good defense and dominating that their division with defense is going to go away because Pittsburgh Steelers aren't a zone team. They're a man-to-man team, and maybe Patrick Graham could have the players to do that. And saying that Patrick Graham was strapped, he had free reigns with AP, and our defense still sucked. And how many times did we ever get beat up the middle with Morig there? He lost Morig. Our safeties are terrible. I wasn't with Chin. Pal Mal, I give him credit. I ain't gonna talk shit on Pal Mal because Pal Mal was an undrafted free agent. He worked his way up to be a safety. He worked his way up to legitimately get them out to start. And then we're questioning that hard work. Pal Mal should be a starter. And Chin gets BD. I was told to do this, my opinion, as far as evaluating players that we drafted and that we got. And then I got this, I wasn't told to, but I was told to do this when I was like a GA for a JUCO team I was coaching. And I was told to look at the tape of a safety and the receivers that he has to cover a D. Because that's your responsibility. If you play strong safety, you can come up and get the run, but you got to cover your area. But if free safety is different, you're free, you cover D, or you're half, or you're at quarters, or whatever it is, whatever coverage you're in. You can't get beat D. If your safety is making tackles and leading your team in tackles, you got a defensive problem. And why did we always have that? Until the guy last year, we should have signed. He signed today, I seen. He had 160 tackles, bro. A linebacker did. That's great. But our safeties had 120. That's not good. But I watched Jeremy Chin and his tape. Because we got him, and I was excited. I seen him in Bakersfield. He was there. He's big. I was like, hey, man, this guy's tight. You know, the hitter, all this. We do can't cover. I seen CD Lamb. CD Lamb does it to every safety. But his back, he was behind dozens and dozens and dozens of times on tape chasing wide receivers deep. And that's his responsibility. And he played free safety. He's a big kid, so he plays strong. Palomal could do that too. So I'm not a big fan of Chin. I dig him, but Tyler Miles might say. And the kid from Arizona too, I like. The other kid, the other safety. Really, I like the defense, all except for the defensive tackle, and that's the most important thing, in my opinion. That's that's the main. If you're gonna run a 3-4 base, that's the main thing you need, bro. So go give it. Go. I don't give a fuck what you give for him. I ain't no hurry. I ain't in no. Pay the dude. He's one of the best. So he comes to the Raiders and fall off. He did great last year. He doesn't have injury problems. He just wants to get paid a little bit. Trade player for player. When is Adam Butler gonna come up to his paycheck? The young guys I'll keep. Tonka I'll keep. He's the second year. The new guy we got was the second year, first year. We got Young there, but they need a guy too. That'll be a number one pick right there. We got D tackle of that defense, and we think that 255-pound Max Crosby could play the other tackle. It ain't gonna happen, bro. He's gonna be a pass rusher. He's gonna be what he's supposed to do. Last year, I expected great sacks from Max Crosby. Averages 10 sacks. We think the world of Max Crosby, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, but Max Crosby, in my view, is a good defensive end, but defensive ends get sacks. They don't lead the league in stopping the run. They lead the league in sacks. The good ones do. The elite ones do. You can make all pro. You can make a Pro Bowl just because your name. But if you make all pro, when has Max Crosby? Max Crosby didn't do that last year or the year before. He needs to pick up his sacks. Now, this is the last. This is probably the last year I'm going to say that before I say we traded him, bro. So he should take note. It ain't having a chip on your shoulder with Max Crosby anymore, bro. Now he's gonna. You're the first one in and the last one to leave, and you're supposed to do all this and that with other dudes. No one that you've been around has stepped up and did anything, right? And you're the first one in and the last one to leave every day, and you only get 10 sacks a season. And you had another surgery on your knee, and you ain't practicing. So what's up now? Now it's all gonna come to you when the year after next, you're gonna need more guaranteed money, and you're gonna be talking. I respect that he said he's not gonna have no shows because that needs to stop. That's what gets you in the Pro Bowl. That's what gets you into that flag football game, bro. I don't give a fuck what they give him, Furpo. I don't care what they give him. Obviously, this dude knows how to lose pick and get it back. He goes down the line. He drops down to the second round later, and he gets a third round pick. He gets another pick. So we give him a third round pick. Fuck, he'll drop down again and get a lesser player like he did this year and he did the year before with Bash and he did it with Stoops. That we'll get that pick back. So if that's your intention, just give a third round pick for this guy. Fuck, Tampa Bay will take it. He's gonna get a new contract. That's why he wants to trade. And how are the Rams doing all this shit? We have more money than them. What the fuck? And what player you want to give up? You give up Adam Butler, a backup, a good little solid backup for Vita Vea? That dude's a nose tackle, bro. He takes up space. He wants 22 million. Give it to him. Defensive tackles last a long time in the NFL. They take a beat down, but they're big men and they have their dog, instantly dog. Yeah, I hear that a lot too, in my opinion. I'm with you on that too. That dude is learning football and he ain't gonna learn from us anymore, I guess. It might get him back. Because he's in the same boat with everybody. He's a massive guy, but that might be his problem. Probably has a weight problem, bro. Just because you're that big doesn't mean you're good. You're a rugby player. You're good at that. And he's learning. I'll give him time. It doesn't matter. You know, if you take up space, you got to be good at it. You got to be good at it. You got to do something with that. And I guess he's learning. He's learning, bro. And they don't. I'm glad they're not wasting time on that because I'm glad they realize that hey, if you're on the practice squad, you practice, but what you're doing is that you're the other team. That's what practice squad is. You're doing what You're Chris Jones. You're Jared Carter. You're you're that guy in practice. The development is done once we start playing games, bro. You want to get rid of Mayer, bro? I don't. We got to look purple. I don't know if you heard my discussion about and Kubiak would tell you the same thing. He might not give up all his words, but I think Kubiak's saying what he needs to say. He's doing a good job at it, and I dig the dude. I expect a lot from him. My expectations is high, bro. I'm not with this purple. I'm not with this. Oh, 1, 2, 3 years. I've been doing that, purple. You know that, man. I've been doing it. I've been bitching for 3 years already. This AP. I've been bitching. It ain't good. It's looking better, but we said that last year, bro, didn't we? I think Mayer is underachieved. Another second round pick that ain't this shit in the NFL. That we're always saying, wait, the mental issue, you know, you can start saying, he didn't do what I expected him to do last year. Caught some passes when Bowers was hurt, but he had to. He was in. The opportunity. You got a way better tight end than him, but he's not in a shadow. You could do your own, dude. Start your own legacy with this team, dude. Stick around. You got unproven business to do. He's not. Michael Mayer can catch balls, bro. Good, well. He breaks tackles, bro. It's hard. He's a mismatch in the passing game. That means a lot in coordination. What I mean by that, and that skill of being an offensive coordinator, and Kubiak sees that. Michael Mayer is a very big asset in formationally in football. You can't let a guy like that go. You can't manipulate a guy that just sits there and blocks. Just bring in another tackle. He did that already last year, and that was a good move. You can still be in 13, 12 person. You can have all tight ends out there. Fuck the receivers. Our tight ends are better than the receivers. In my book, don't you think that? Don't you think that? You all agree with me with that? Purple, you agree with me? You want to get rid of Meyer, but is that group better than the receivers we got? I don't know. I think my just the thought of a guy debating if he loves football or not is a question mark for me. It's just like fumbling. You're gonna go out there and get hurt if you ain't mentally ready for this shit. And we gotta we got to think that, oh, this guy needs time, and you got, if you're in the pro level and you're expected to play and you get picked one, two, those guys expect that from you, and to be in that type of authority as a head coach, as an owner, and say you need to sit, you ain't ready for this. It was a bad pick. I question you picking the guy. Darren Waller had was crazy, but he brought his rapping. He brought. You can't do that, bro. Even in social media, you can't be like that. It needs to be all football. And dudes that are like that are successful. I don't even like Genty being on that shit. Where's your focus at? Your focus should always be football. If you got families and kids, you're in the league and you're doing that. But if you're doing social media and you're already rich, you can talk about football, but you don't need to talk about your contract or what you want. And that's what that dude was doing. Crosby. You were saying trading. You wanted to trade when sorry ass A, you knew AP didn't know what he was doing. You wanted that dude. Wanted to get traded. I remember that. Do you guys? Dude, I'm with Kubiak. I like the dude. I didn't want him though. I wanted LaFleur. Same offensive mind. Actually, what we have now is better for that receiving core. But I thought we were gonna get a receiver in the second round. I thought we were gonna get a receiver in free agency. We didn't do that. We get a 26-year-old fucking safety. It makes you feel what they think about Chin and Pau Mao, huh? They got two safeties. We got more secondary. That was a big problem for us. Was a secondary, and I knew we were gonna get a running back. But what I'm hearing is this dude's gonna take carries away from Genty, though. You guys have a whole different opinion on Genty than me. I thought Genty ran very well last year, and but he didn't add up. We talk about the offensive line. Hey, what's different there? The center, the most important position, probably on the field. We got a guy that could command that offensive line, and that'll get guys to go the right way. We didn't have none of that. We have 4 or 5 centers going in there, and we wanted a guy that gets concussed almost every year, a couple of times a season, to play center. That's the reason why he didn't play center, folks. I didn't get a chance to tell you that because I wasn't around. And my sister came to me and told me, say that shit. Me and my sister used to talk about this shit. She knew football. I miss her. That's why I'm doing this. I want a mentor too. I'm not debating the coach, but the resume. You've been in the league a long year at different teams, bro. But a quarterback coach is not like you can have a good reputation as a quarterback coach, but to be a head coach, you won a Super Bowl. You had a great team, dude. That was a good team. They had a massive, good, badass defense. We need that, and we tried to do that in the draft. But we got to think we were positioned at the number 2 pick to get prime guys to make our team better. So I guess we were sold that this wide receiving core is good, or our tight ends are good, that our tight ends are better, an asset, and he does that, and I see that, I visualize that. But we're sitting here giving Brock Bowers 12 targets, 15 targets a game. The dude's gonna get hurt again. So I wouldn't want to trade away Mayo. You can't trade away a guy like that. And it's not just for blocking. It's to be a route runner. He catches the football, does shit with it after. I don't want him sitting there fucking struggling, bullshitting with a defensive end. Get tackles. Get damn good tackles to do that. I'm glad you think that because there's a lot of people out there manipulating your mind saying we're cool with Ray Tucker and Jalen Naylor, Thornton. The only one I think is gonna not hearing good things out of camp about Bash, not hearing good things about in camp with Devontae, Thornton. They are what they are, bro. They are what they are, and then they'll get better, with the. But it's not a deep offense, bro. It's not. You can happen. We don't have a guy like Jay is saying. We don't have guys like they have. It's different. You don't need to be super fast to get excited about a. It's the what you do with that speed, and we ain't got that. He says still need a true number one receiver like Jason to make those 12, 13 personnel groupings work. I'll take Brock Bowers and Malcolm over last year. But they contributed. JSN got targets. JSN had a first half weak ass Super Bowl. They did it with their defense. You could tell that defense was struggling. And let me mind you this: didn't they get that Will Johnson guy, the offensive lineman that tried to play tackle? Where's he at now? With them 32-inch arms? Where's he at now? Where's he playing now? Did you see what they did to him in the Super Bowl? Don't tell me that Zoom is gonna play tackle. You're waiting for bad shit to happen, bro. It matters. I had to just like you guys or somebody. My boy Nate will tell you that this dude ain't gonna play tackle. It'll be drastic, bad for this guy for doing it. And we think, there's a lot of things going on. He can play every position on the field. He's gonna learn how to play guard. He's never played guard in college. Never, not a snap, bro. But he gonna make that transition. He's a third round pick, so he needs to contribute to my boy. He needs to contribute at guard. He's learning a new position, but they obviously thought very highly of you to make that switch. They in the rookie camp, he played tackle. They see if he can hang, but I've been hearing him playing guard. He'll be a backup center. He don't have a legit record of playing center. He played 156 snaps his senior year last year. He played tackle and he played against Bain and Menzador, but dude, Bain and Menzador, they had 7 sacks in that game. They had one of the best games of their career. That's what made him a number one pick against his team and his offensive line that he was on. Might not have been against him, but if we say he was on him solely as a tackle, he played center that game. Zone can't play tackle, in my opinion. I'm guaranteeing you that. If I see him at tackle, expect a bad day for him. Expect a bad grade, and expect him to get worse. Because it ain't gonna happen, bro. His arms ain't long enough, and it's a fact, bro. Look it up and see. There's and the besides the old days where it really didn't matter, because the defensive end nowadays, you got Max Crosby guys with 8-foot wingspans. You think this dude with 32-inch arms, average arms, to sit out there and get these guys? He doesn't have no leverage on them. Leverage is one of the main things. And you can have all the footwork in the world. But if you don't get leverage on that defensive end and he bends you over like that, you lose him. Bye. Quarterback dead. Quarterback is dead. He played tackle in college. In college, you could do that with 32.5-inch arms, bro, because you don't have the defense. The defensive ends on the NFL, bro, are different. You know that. You know that. It matters, bro. He cannot play every position in the NFL. He's gonna be a guard. You just told me that. All right, Furpo, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. Bless you, man. Be back again. Come back again, Furpo. I'm gonna be on, man. Appreciate the support. Tell people, grab me back on, bro. Tell people. You know, I'll be talking football for days, bro. I'm gonna be on for about another 15 minutes. My pen's jamming at me. Studios is jamming. John Studios is getting with me. I'm gonna be here, man. My sis wants me on for a minute, but it's great. I didn't get a lot off my chest. We just got to get out that old school, bro. We're stuck in the old school, and that's our problem. We need a man as a coach, bro. We need a grown ass man that knows what's up. I think he is. He's a good leader. He make them team decisions. We're just worried about one dude. Is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? Is this, that? I want him to play. He needs to. He needs to. Zuna is a guard. I made that point. McCoy is gonna be limited. Don't expect to see McCoy out there on. He ain't doing definitely not doing any special teams, and he's definitely not gonna be participating in probably hitting. But tackling in the NFL is almost non-existent. These dudes know how to tackle. What they get taught is angles. They study angles more than anything. They process angles. And they get bigger, faster. Running ain't a problem for him. Well, that's another thing. I rather would have kept Carson. He fucked up. But what kicker don't? That dude was a field position genius. He missed field goals. But his field position, that's why we got the field position is a win-lose situation in football. He did that. And so we're rooting. This is how fucked up. This is how messed up we are as fan base. We're fans. I understand that. We're buying jerseys for a dude, Tokyoto. I don't even know his name. I can't say his name. That learn how to kick footballs on the internet from YouTube. And we're happy about that shit. We're happy about that. Now, if I'm not a real kicker, dude, but in the NFL, kicker means some field position, and you hit 3 points. Nowadays, they'll put you out there 55 yards, and you gotta make that shit. Gay ain't doing that. Carson had a bad spell. He was in a little slump, and then we got rid of him. Got paid a lot of money. Maybe that was it. That's my conclusion of that. You got paid a lot of money. You're messing up. You're expected not to lose games for us because you missed 3 field goals. We lost that game because of that. But he came back and hit 5 the last game of the season, right? And special teams is a big time for me. The kickers is what I avoid. They're a mess. Kickers are a mess. But if if we're gonna cherish and buy jerseys from a guy that learned how to kick footballs on YouTube, so be it. You'll get you either get something to say about me about a kicker, or you're gonna understand what I'm saying here. Check it out right here. Here we go. Josh Studios again with the hitter. Gravy, look at our line depth chart on our lads. Okay, it's a lot better than last year. Trey Zoon, Jordan Meredith, Caleb Rogers. That Dalton Wagner is what I have a problem with. He ain't got a good foot. He's terrible, bro. That's a. Uh, I'm good with Grant being the backup. He gonna get groomed, but he ain't Miller. Trey Zoon at guard, he good at that. Trey Zoon is a great athlete. He's an athlete, and then that I give him props for that. The only problem I have is he can play every position in in the in the offensive line. He can play center. If you want to call 156 snaps at center in college, good. Playing center, he did. You're right, and he probably was successful. He was on a great offensive line. The offensive line was dominant, but he played just primarily left tackle. He was a good left tackle in college. But I gotta embed this in your head. There has never been an offensive tackle, left tackle, be precise. I'm not even a right tackle. It doesn't matter. That has 32 and a half inch arms. There has been guys that had adequate seasons, and I think one of them made a Pro Bowl. But it's been done. But they were higher draft picks. They were great offensive linemen from the get go. And this guy, if you look at his college stats, there is no there is no documentation that this dude has ever played guard. So he's learning how to play guard and being a great athlete at that position in the NFL nowadays with these offenses now running zone, and then in our case, a wide zone scheme is beneficial for him to play guard. So being a great left tackle in college and being a rookie, his knowledge of how to play offensive line will translate better at guard from being a tackle in college to the NFL as a guard. The most athletic person on your offensive line should be a guard. The center is important, but mentally, your center has to be the smartest guy on the field. No doubt. He's the one. We got a center that can make decisions, that can call, and that's why I'm so stuck with Mendoza playing under center with Lindenbaum early because he Lindenbaum will help him out being a rookie, and I want to see that. We want to see that because that is the future of our team. That is the future of our offensive line. People see Fernando Mendoza, guards, tackles in the NFL. We're going to have to get veteran offensive linemen for this team. We're going to have to. I'm not a fan of Rodgers either. He's there, but he's terrible. Okay? He does terrible shit. And this is his third year. And Caleb Rogers was a third round pick, I believe. Or Grant was. They were back to back. Dalton Wagner, practice squad guy, stay there. Big dude. It's good to have big guys like that for Bring a man up for a tight end on an extra, like what Grant did last year. He doesn't have to worry. He's all over them. He's too stiff. And now that with a wide zone, he ain't gonna be able to get lateral. And he's a two. He's a second guy. Hey, Shit, what's up, man? How you doing? Salute, bro. Is that Shit 53? What's up? I seen you before, bro. How you doing? That's your picture, bro. That's you. That's cool. He says salute, buddy. Mendoza isn't ready. What makes you think that? Tell me why, champ. You just got on. Tell me why you think he's not ready. Because he said, how you feel about your number one overall pick? Saying that. Explain that to me. I explained myself. If you've been on checking me out, I've explained that pretty well detailed. Just because he said he wasn't ready, he might be overwhelmed right now. He might be getting a little nervous. He probably don't know what to say to the media yet, but he's getting trained to. That's something that he can develop. Learning how to speak to the media. But reading defenses, I'm sure he's seen just about every defense so far on film. I'm pretty sure he's reading defenses when he's out there at practice now. How many more times do you need to see that? If you're on the bench, you ain't going through it. You're going through your iPad every day. 20 hours a day, you're in a room. You're probably with your quarterback coach. You probably are with your offensive coordinator. You're with the other two quarterbacks or three or four quarterbacks. Then you get it. Knowing that you're a smart guy, you were with one of the best teachers in college football. You got to read defenses there. He runs a pro style offense. He's never done a play action pass with his back to the line of scrimmage. His footwork is bad. You seen that, or you were told that? You don't think for 3 months he's been working on that? I don't know a quarterback that doesn't learn that quickly. If you do, if it takes you a year or 13 games until a bye week to learn that, then you won the number one pick overall, bro. We made a mistake. As well said, to back up what I said, in my opinion. Well, this is if you guys want to see what he's never done a play action pass. Well, you're mentioning to be under center. You don't think he's been doing that? Do you think that he hasn't been doing that for 3 months every day, looking at on film, knowing what to expect? What better way for him to learn to put his back behind there to learn a we do wide zone, bro. We ain't gonna have our offensive line. They'll be at the damn sideline and we run a seven. What seven drop are we gonna have and doing wide zone scheme when the linemen are going vertical? What's your intent to do that? We're not gonna do wide zone. We have a bootleg. We're a bootleg to that side. Is our tackle good? Do we have one of the best left tackles in one of them, the 12th best I heard? A play action pass, he sells it. He can't do that. He can do it out of the shotgun. It's not if he is what he is, if he's a number one overall pick, bro, he knows that. When is he gonna be good enough? It's not super hard, champ. So you think he's not ready? So your number one overall pick value is not what you think about other players. Do you have a problem with Genty getting picked sixth? Did you know that Kirk Cousins, what was it, 5 years ago with Kubiak, when he was a quarterback coach, okay, and he was an offensive coordinator one time, 1 year. And so we think that he's a genius of this when Atlanta didn't run it. He was a shotgun with Atlanta. And Bijan is bad because he gets zone reads and and has to do shit like that for Atlanta. What's the difference? Now tell me this, yeah, I'm in another. I'm rebooting myself. You weren't here before. What up, Alfredo? What's up, Stars? What you doing, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here with me. This is my thing for Aaron Rodgers. And I said this before, and no one disagreed with me. Aaron Rodgers was good coming out of college, right? Was Aaron Rodgers? I think he was a picked in the first round, right? He was that type quarterback. Was Brent Favre better than Aaron Rodgers? Is Brent Favre in the Hall of Fame, bro? So we can admit that Brent Favre was better than Aaron Rodgers there, right? You admit that? Who's the other one that sat? Who you want to tell me? We said Mahomes sat. Was Alex Smith winning football games in Kansas City? And Mahomes wasn't a number one overall pick. Aaron Rodgers wasn't a number one overall pick. Tom Brady wasn't a number one overall pick. Drew Bledsoe was better than Tom Brady. Alex Smith was playing better football than Mahomes. Am I making myself a little bit clear? He's under no pressure to win. Who's this? What's wrong with OG, bro? What's wrong with OG? Alfredo? He got eyesight problems. This team is not isn't. What's the issue? Hey Chef, you've been a Raider fan for a long time, bro. I know you probably have. But you sound like you don't care if we lose again. I'm tired of losing, bro. I'm tired of losing. Favre was better, yes, sir. Michael Busy, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Salute. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here with me. Been on for a minute. I go on forever, bro. So you throw him out there on a bad team? Okay. So you're listening to all these guys that show you a record. What happens to a first year number one overall pick quarterback? Okay. You're gonna throw Kirk Cousins out there on a bad team. So what do you think is gonna happen? Are they gonna block different for Kirk Cousins than they will for Fernando Mendoza? What type of offensive lineman? What do you have? What feeling do you have over offensive lineman, bro? I'll wait. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, bro. And he backed up a Hall of Famer. We're not in that situation. I would understand that if we had a Hall of Famer out here. The reason why we picked number one is because we sucked. And the reason why all these guys that I mentioned, their team suck, bro. What's the difference? You want to wait till we get good and then throw them out there? And then what if we get disappointed in that? What if everything is all good for Mendoza and you get disappointed because he wasn't as good as we thought he was? So him sitting there is gonna make him better. Explain that to me. Oh man, I feel bad. I had to reach out to him. I'm good with OG, man. Me and OG started up. I started being up on his show. I'll reach out to him, bro. But big ups to Mr. OG. You know what? A big up to my boy All Lives, man. I heard some bad news about my boy All Lives too. He's in a little predicament. All Lives, if you're watching, Man, much big ups. You know, Gravy got you, bro. That dude did so much for me, man. In my show I have, he did my graphs I have with me smoking a cigar. He did all that shit, bro. Bright young mind, badass DJ. He lives in Fresno. He's a dog. He my boy. Big ups to all lives, man. Robert Pena too. I never got on a show. Give my respects to Robert Pena and his family. Good dude. Robert Pena always called me up, man, and said, "Gravy, I hear what you're saying." Just like the conversation that me and you were having, my opinion, he would get at me personally in my DMs and say, "What's up, bro? I understand what you're saying. I understand what you mean. I don't mean to be saying this, man. It's just a fact. You just don't agree with it. We're not throwing him to the wolves, bro. He's learning. He's learning." Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years. Yeah, and Brett Favre, what he did, a little Super Bowl in that. That's why he sat. That's why he sat because Brett Favre was better. All those guys sat because Brett Favre was better. Because their quarterbacks that they were backup was better. They backed up a better guy. We don't have that situation. Fernando Mendoza is better than Kirk Cousins. I'm telling you. Right now he is. You don't think so. Why? If you don't think Fernando Mendoza is better than Kirk Cousins right now, after all this 3 months of learning under this offensive genius quarterback guru that we have here, that took Sam Donald to the Super Bowl, what makes you think he can't do that with Fernando Mendoza? What makes you think that? I think Sam Donald's better than Kirk Cousins. Big up to Robert Pena's family, man. Robert Pena was a good dude, but I was telling you, he would tell me he didn't always agree with me, but he understood, and we used to go at it. But I respect people like that. I expect my opinion. I expect you, Alfredo. Ship, I respect you by challenging me. But I'm gonna tell you things that that's why they sat, bro, because they were better. The quarterback ahead of them was better. They're Hall of Fame guys. Steve Young sat. Who was he? Who was in front of him? We say the best, one of the besides Tom Brady, the best ever. Before that, Hall of Famer. Alex Smith was a damn good quarterback, bro. He was winning games for Kansas City. They moved up to get Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes was good. Nigga Basie, what's up? Robert Pena. Alfredo got something to say. It's starting to get worrying when you don't hear from these guys anymore. Yeah, I was worried, man. I bet you no one thought about me like that. You know? Grebby was always here, bro. I had some setbacks, bro. I miss my sister so much, bro. That was my little baby girl. That's her behind me, man. She looking over me. She got a little shield right there with her name on it. And it's just, she does me. She loved the Raiders, too. This is for her. I'm doing this back. She got me, she made me do this. Every show I do, Alfredo, man, it's for her. She got me back in there. My opinion, you like to back up for me too, bro. Anytime you want to get going like that, we can do it, bro. Respectfully. That's the way Robert Pena was. Just about everybody. I'm not bitching, but I'm gonna bitch until we start winning. And it looks like I'm gonna have to do it because I ain't satisfied until we start winning. And I ain't making no predictions. I ain't making no that we're gonna do this and that. There's flaws in every football player, bro. But I'll make a note of it. And I'll say the good things about him that I like. I said I like Benson. I see it in him. I see things in Mendoza. Just go. Why wait? Don't get you started, Alfredo. What's up? Get you started with what? Let's go. I miss the shows too with my boys, man. We got our things doing, man. I get a little collab. I'll collab, but see, I don't want to get on shows and debate people. I don't like that. I ain't arguing with people. Some people are that way. But my concerns with this team is just about just like everybody else. But it's to a point to where I'm just fed up, man. I'm fed up with the losing. My expectations for this team is I'll keep them to myself. But when the season gets started, don't be surprised if I said I told you so, man. This receiving core is not. They're last in the league, bro. There's a reason for that. There's a reason people think about that. Why do you not see it? Professional people, PFF, that we can talk shit on PFF that they don't know what they're doing. But the reason why Raider fans say that because we're always last in fucking everything. We're last group, and when have they been wrong? When we didn't have Genty, we were last running back. We were last year with Genty, but Genty was a bright spot. Yeah, Alfredo, my boys, man, they're doing good, bro. I'm cool with them, man. It wasn't no animosity. It's just we had shit to do. Things happen. I love their dudes, man. They're my boys. There you go, Brett Favre. His last Super Bowl 1997. He lost in 1988. That's it. Took Aaron Rodgers in 2000. Same thing, bro. But during that era, bro, he sat because he sat when Brett Favre was getting busy. He couldn't do what Brett Favre was doing. That was like a little mini get up, bro. That was like a little mini Green Bay was tight. Donald Driver and all that shit. They had Sharp out there. They were getting busy. I'm glad you're here, Alfredo. I dig that, man. I dig that. I'm gonna be on, bro. You come anytime, all the time. Give me some of that good game you got. You always been a good chat guy. I'll go with everybody, man. These new guys that are coming up, I'll go with them. I just want to establish this little baby show for my girl, my baby sister, and she dug me doing this, so I'm gonna keep it up for her. I enjoy doing it. I love doing this. I love talking to Rachel, but I want to win, man. I want to win. I know it's easy. I know it's tough to hear what I say. That I have problems in certain areas of you, but in football, the main thing you got to do if you run a certain defense is to get a tackle. You know, really, a defensive end is not the special part of a defense. To break the ice of it, to put the standard on it is to have a defensive tackle, a set of defensive tackle, and a good rotation, and a secondary. You got to have a lockdown guy. I see that in McCoy, but he's young and he's hurt. Alfredo, you know me, you know my vibe. I don't intend to come out here and talk shit, bro. I want us to do good, but we're just putting ourselves in a bad position for the Kirk Cousins out there. Where did we get that Kirk Cousins can win us football games and with the same offensive line, with the defense and the secondary suspect safeties, a defensive end that doesn't take over games, another one that has never done shit but 2 years ago, Woody Pay, which stops the run very good but doesn't get sacks, right? Defensive tackles that don't get no push. Your front, your defensive linemen, your big guys should be stopping the run like Max Crosby does. It's easy to take Max Crosby out the game, and it's no secret. Maybe that's why Rob Leonard switched to a 3-4 base to make Max Crosby to earn his money. Have we ever thought about that? What is that, Studios? What you've been hearing from everybody else? He can't go under center. He can't, what Shep said, he can't do play action. What makes you think he can't do that? What makes you think he has a better arm than Kirk Cousins? He can move better than Kirk Cousins. What are you gonna do when you see Kirk Cousins running over there and where your quarterback last place, bro? Offensive lineman and shit beating him. What the fuck was that? I seen that. He might have been playing around and shit. But damn, man. And your Kirk Cousins is known to, you might as well have Aiden O'Connell out there, make it slower. I don't have a problem with AOC. It's just that when AOC is in there, the game flow changes. It changes. And I'm done with that, bro. Being slow in the NFL is drastic. No matter how fast your release is. You could throw the you could throw that ball too. It doesn't mean that the dude you're throwing to is open, no matter how fast they are. They're covered. Those DBs are just as fast as you are, bro, when you get to the pros. And I think that Mendoza needs to learn that. He needs to learn that. And the only way to learn is if you play. That's what I'm saying. Anybody, your tackles, you know, Max Crosby is not a defensive tackle, bro. Not even in a 3-4. I don't think so. Yeah, if he wants to stop the run, if he wants to make that stopping the run, but he's a defensive end, bro. Max Crosby's 250 pounds, 255. Is that a defensive tackle to you? You know, the only guy I see ever do that is Khalil Mack and Julius Peppers. And I don't think Max is that. And those are Hall of Famers. And if you want to embed Max Crosby into a Hall of Fame already, you're crazy. You're crazy. Because he's not doing what a Hall of Fame guys do. You know, there's not one coach. They appreciate you stopping a run like that. They'll take it. But I think, you know, Rob Leonard seen we need this guy to get sacks. He's getting paid $37 million to get 10 sacks. What guy getting paid like that does that? You know, do you think what Max Crosby gets paid that he should be getting 17, 15 sacks a season? Or you're just cool with barely 10? And it matters when he gets those 10 sacks. You know, I don't need Max Crosby getting 2 sacks when we're getting beat 31-0. I don't need that. I need that when we're winning. Yeah, right, Alfredo. We don't got a nose tackle. That's why I want to give it. I don't give a fuck what we get for him. I just said the scenario. This dude goes down, gets more picks. He gets 3 or 4 more picks, fourth round, third round, whatever. And he trades down and gets them. And why not give up a third or whatever for Vita Vea? He's worth a third round pick. He's worth it. Here we go, Studios. It's just a matter of the defense playing tricks on his mind. Casey is going to come out in quarters in the last second, switch, press single high, and blow Mendoza's mind while he is concentrating. Maybe. But so you think sitting on the bench and looking at that instead of seeing it is better for him? You know, you would expect Mendoza to throw picks, right? Yeah, he ain't gonna go out there and not throw interceptions, bro, in his second year, right? He ain't he ain't gonna he's gonna throw picks, and I expect that. I expect him to have bad games, bro. He knows what quarters coverages is, and then he's probably been played tricks. He played Miami and Alabama and all these other things. He knows what quarters coverage and dropping two deep safeties doesn't. It's the same in college as it is, and the formation is the same. And the defensive formation is the same. Quarters, they just better players, and it might be faster. It is faster. It happens quicker. What way is he going to be able to adjust to that if he doesn't play? You think he's going to learn it sitting on the bench? How is he going to learn that? Here we go with shit. Yeah, make you happy. Who you want out there, bro? Adam Butler again? You want Adam Butler again? Oh, so we're in a rebuild. But we have Kirk Cousins out there. We're in a rebuild, but we didn't get a young receiver. We're in a rebuild. We didn't get a true left tackle offensive lineman. What? Where's the rebuild at? We're rebuilding, but we got two veteran linebackers to replace our guys that got 160 tackles. Is that a rebuild to you? You call losing games rebuilding. All right. I need you guys to understand football rebuilding and fan rebuilding. It's easy to take losses. It's easy to play shitty and then say we're rebuilding. We've been doing that for 25 years, bro. Even with Derek Carr. So you say we were rebuilding with Derek Carr because he didn't have shit. So rebuilding is trading Max Crosby, trading, getting young linebackers. These young backers are young, but they get hurt. They're linebackers. You can expect that. They get hurt a lot. They got a lot of tackles. They're too different. I'm happy with what we got linebacker wise, but we don't do that shit if we're rebuilding. We get young rookies. We trade guys like that. We trade Chin. We trade Colton Miller. We try to trade Max Crosby to get younger, but it didn't work out. That's a different thing there. So if we're gonna be rebuilding, then you got the concept of that. I think you're so used to losing and saying we're rebuilding. It's just a habit to say that as far as Raider fans. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. We got Clay Walker and Nakobe Dean, decorated veteran players. That's not rebuilding, bro. That's setting up your linebackers to win. That's what that is. Lindenberg, who the linebacker or center? I think he got 5 years, 4 years, bro. Oh, the linebacker, he's a young guy. He's a good special teams player, and that's what he's gonna be. What do you think we got? Why do you think we got uh, Clay Walker and them to sign him 3-year contract? You think they want to stick around for a rebuild? They're 5-year vets. Those transfer portal defensive playbooks are way more watered down because teams only have their defenses together or a year or two. The AFC West is the veteran defensive coordinator. What better way? What better way to put Mendoza out there against Spagnuolo? What better way for him to learn? Huh? You were cool when AOC was a rookie out there and all happy that he beat him. What happened? What's wrong now? What's wrong now? What's the difference? That he wasn't a number 1 overall pick? Isn't it worse? AOC went out there in a rookie and won games. And what's going on now? And we had a shitty offensive line too. I don't understand, bro. I'm not saying we're gonna be a playoff team, bro. We wouldn't be a playoff. We're not gonna be a playoff. Okay, you're so confident in saying we're not gonna be a playoff team with Kirk Cousins in there. What's the difference of Mendoza is out there? Since you want to get to that point, D Mose, what's up, man? How you doing? You've been here so late. I dig it, man. 1:30 in the morning. What's up? LC MVP coming. You lying? He didn't sign a 2-year contract. And what's the problem with that? Lindenbaum did not sign. Lindenbaum did not leave Baltimore and sign. What was it? 100. What 100 some million for a 2-year contract? That means he's getting fucking 60, 50 million a year. No way, bro. Thank you, D Minute. Hit the like button for me, man. Make this spread out a little bit. My boy D Minute, man. So he'll be here 3 years, bro. So they're here 2 years with the third option, which we'll probably pick up if they pay City. But the guaranteed money is for 2 years. We're guaranteeing these guys for 2 years. And how is that a rebuild? You get rookies and guys that are on a 5-year contract. These guys got new deals. That's not rebuild, bro. That's full veteran all ball out. You get rookies, you get young players, you get draft picks. You don't get the Kobe Dean. You don't get Clay Walker. Nor would they come here if you even mentioned it's a rebuild. You're saying that, not me. And so if you're saying it's a rebuild, that means you just expect to suck. I'm not with that. I'm done with that. I've been on it too many years. I said about saying this last year. I'm fucking tired of losing. It was like you're happy with it because your excuses we're rebuilding. Yeah, this I signed a 2-year contract. Then that means we're not going to be ready with Lindenbaum. We signed him for no reason. We're going to win 3 games again, and Lindenbaum's going to waste a year. That's the way I get it. If Aaron Rodgers can sit 3 years, Fernando Boza can still win. Studios. Do we have Brett Favre out there? You're cool with Kirk Cousins. He'll see. What are we gonna do? Kirk Cousins play sucks, and we don't keep him. And we get another guy, or Mendoza ready next year. He'll be ready next year, not playing. You think so? You think so? You guys, y'all listening to? So rebuild is depth, or to get starters. So give veterans a start for you, and you rebuild with depth. You got it all wrong, champ. You got it all wrong, bro. These young players in the secondary that we got, these guys that are already getting first team reps in training camp are starting, are getting first team reps. All right. So our veterans, our porters, our decams, our other guys, eventually Stokes is going to be a backup to these new guys that are coming in. That's a rebuild, bro. And we're tired of losing. They quit saying we're rebuilding and win. Put Mendoza out there. Put these rebuild. That'll be a true rebuild. If these rookies are starting, if these rookies are playing, if Trey Zoom's out there pulling as a guard or doing wide zone scheme, then you could say it's a kind of a rebuild. But Lindenbaum didn't come here for the rebuild. You're telling me their contracts. You think he's gonna stick around for 2 years, then bounce and lose money? He came here because we paid him a lot of money, and I don't think he wants to come and get that money, get paid, and get hurt with a sucky ass team. I don't think Kubiak is over here rebuilding. He's probably has time, but when? Where we get this shit at? And I kind of want to say you got that loser mentality, bro. I'm kind of saying it. Don't leave and just take it as a little bit of just. It might be kept, but you're used to losing. I'm tired of it, and you expect to lose. I don't. I'm not saying we're gonna win 8, 9 games. We're gonna look better. Kirk Cousins is no. This is temporary. Obviously, why when you could go to a team and start, he did that. But Mendoza beats him out. Who do you want in there, bro? Mendoza gets in there and starts kicking ass. Who do you want in there? You're making excuses for this guy. No one's ever said it, and he fucked up saying I'm not ready. He, I hope he's getting told. You should have said that, bro. What are we gonna think about this guy for saying shit like that? We just accept it and say, "Oh, sit him." Now there's a reason to sit him. Not me. That's bitch shit to me. Who do we pick? What type of shit is that? I want to hear. You know what? I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna bust my ass and I'm gonna start. That's what I want to hear. That's what a number one overall pick should say. Because I have never heard a number one overall pick that was a quarterback. You think Kyler Murray was saying that? You think Bryce Young was saying that? You think Joe Burrow was saying that? Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Jameis Winston. You think they were saying, "Nah, I ain't ready"? No, they went in there and played their first year and lost a lot of games because they were on a stuck ass team, right? If Fernando Mendoza starts, I would accept that. I'm not going to accept losing if Kirk Cousins is in there. What's the difference, bro? What's the difference of Kirk Cousins and Mendoza playing if you're going to lose football games? One more extra game, 2 more extra games winning? Okay, we went from 3 to 5 with Kirk Cousins. Is that's cool with you? What am I wrong about? What's successful? The plan that I have is successful. Play your young guys. You think sitting around and waiting is going to make them better? The guys that I coach football, champ. The guys that are out there playing get better. The guys that sit around, they stay there. And especially if your quarterback's over here saying, "I ain't ready," sit on the fucking bench then if you ain't ready. But we have a coach that agrees with that. And we seem to agree with it too. They ain't gonna listen to me. They ain't gonna listen to us. But you can disagree with me, bro. I appreciate that. Respectful. I respect that. But that's what I'm here for. You can think I'm wrong, man. More power to you. A lot of people do. But I tell you this, champ. This is the first time I've seen you on mine. I've seen you around. You can ask John Studios. You can ask my opinion. You can ask Alfredo. I'm not wrong a lot. I'm not wrong a lot. But I remember seeing you with respect, dude. I get disagreed with a lot of times. Lindenbaum signed a fully guaranteed 3-year deal to become the highest paid interior lineman of all and help a rookie quarterback with the line protections from the jump. Win-win signing. It is. Why not put that guy on her butt and get going? Get going. We're all anxious to see the motherfucker. The coaches are anxious to see this dude. What's the problem? We got to make it just nice and perfect and pretty for this guy to do it. And he ain't got a Hall of Famer in front of him, bro. Not yet. And if we're in a rebuild studios, you think Lindenbaum's going to come back, or we're going to get tired of him? We don't win, we're going to say Lindenbaum wasn't worth it, right? And we're over here talking about he's over here for 1 year. Kirk Cousins is here, so you're expecting to lose again. A proper rebuild was to start your quarterback. If you're saying we're in a rebuild, Chip, start your running, start your number one overall pick, which should happen. But we want to wait around and develop and do it. I believe you me, Champ. I agree with developing. I have Champ. I forgot, man. I've been under a lot of shit, but I appreciate you, bro. You're familiar with my background, know what it is, but I appreciate you, bro. It's a good conversation, man. I dig it. Come back again. Now, I ain't dogging you. I ain't dogging you. I'm just questioning what you're saying. And I have an open mind, bro. You can say things that might change me. I forever would say you're right. I've done that with Gabe. I've done that with Lowe. I've done that with all kinds of people. You're right. You're right, bro. I agree with you. But some of the things I don't agree with, we're not. I don't think we're rebuilding. I think we're trying to win and get into Kobe Dean. Get into working a problem. That linebacker was a problem, and it still is if one of these guys get hurt. And one of them ain't even back getting hurt. So let's get out of this old school losing mentality and the fog that we're in of mediocrity and win football games and put the right people out there to do it. Okay? We were told Mendoza was going to be our pick. Then we were told he wasn't going to start. I had a problem with that. But you were convinced that it's a good move. I proved to this audience that was with me that if you start a rookie quarterback, right, you lose games. And you're going to lose games because he's going to make a lot of mistakes. But that second year, Champ, if you heard what I said, bro, drastic changes on winning. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I gave you? Let me just do a couple. Caleb Williams started last year, right? He had 5 wins his first year. He had 8 his second year, last year. Went from 5 to 8. Bryce Young went from 2 to 5. Trevor Lawrence went from 3 to 9. Joe Burrow went from 2 to 10. Kyler Murray went from 5 to 8. Baker Mayfield went from 7 to 6. Jared Goff went 0-7 starting. Next year, he won 11 games as the second year. Jameis Winston went from 6 to 9. Andrew Luck won 11 his rookie year, then won 11 his second year. Cam Newton went from 6 to 8. There's improvement if you start the first year. It's bound to happen, bro. And all these teams that they were on were suck-ass teams. Sham, you must have had a different name. Did you have a different name before, or was it just Sham? Because, man, I have a hard time saying bye. Respect, bro. I got love for you, too, bro. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. One player doesn't make a player better. Where you get that? What do you mean? Well, we're saying that Kirk Cousins is going to mentor this guy. I don't think the dude has the time as a starting quarterback to be mentoring. Say, hey, did you get this? I think Lindenbaum's going to make this offensive line better, and the team will get better. Lindenbaum is a great center. He's an all-pro center, and it's going to make a difference in our offensive line. I question people that say our offensive line is whack. I've seen good things. I might have problems with the way they move, but what we got, Trey Zone is a great athlete. I don't think he's a tackle. I don't say he can play every position in the NFL. Because I know that if you have 32.5-inch arms, 90% of the guys that do, or 95% of the guys that do, don't make it as a tackle. And it's a fact. 25 years of people, when that became a thing, having short arms in the NFL as a tackle, that's a fact. So he has 32.5 inches. The standard for a tackle is 34. So the percentages are bad on him. So that's the way I'm gonna think. It's in high school too. It's already got down to high school with tackles with long arms. They're already grooming you. If you have short arms, but you're still growing, they give you that little leeway. But if you're still if you have short arms, well, you ain't gonna make it. You switch the guard. You could be a good tackle with 32.5 inch arms in college. It'll work. From the pros, it ain't working. So he's gonna be a tackle. After the game three rotate, the Mendoza takes it on. They do yeah, 3 games is why? What if we get killed game one, bro? What if Miami kicks all right? You ready for that? You ready for that? I don't know, man. Fernando Mendoza, to me, is better than Kirk Cousins. If we think that he has the best guy, the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, and he did this with Sam Donald, and he can do things with everybody. He did this with a young Kirk Cousins. Why can't he do that with Mendoza and get him ready for the season? And the only way you got to know the only way that Mendoza is going to get better is playing. You have to think that. I'm pretty sure, Champ, you agree with that. Because I don't think there's anybody that we don't need to babysit this dude. We got to get him calloused to get ready for the NFL. Because we all know what that means. So you expect him to start. I expect him to start game one. It's not going to happen, but I still could expect it. I got wishes, right? And I think it would benefit us, bro. Having our young guy and we can see what's coming in the future. If you want to wait till game six or game three, and then I told you so. Because the other people are saying after the bye, we're gonna throw this guy out there fucking playing the Rams in Seattle and all this other whoever we got late to get killed then and go in on a losing streak of the next season. I'm not really a big confidence for a rookie guy, but if you ain't man enough to take losses, you ain't ready for the NFL, bro. Maybe you should say it. And by saying I ain't ready, maybe you should say it. I got you to saying he will play. That's great. Maybe Carson Palmer was the number 1 overall pick. Dude, he got hurt this game. He started. No, no. He has. You're right, man. He has a lot to learn, but he can do it, man. What makes him different than all these other guys? What makes him different than Jameis Winston and Bryce Young and Caleb Williams? What makes him different? He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Some of them guys were. What makes him so different? What makes him so special that he needs to learn? That he needs help. It just seems like everybody on the Raiders needs help. Max Crosby needs help. He needs a defensive tackle. He does need a defensive tackle. He needs a defensive tackle to stop the run so Max can get more sacks. He takes it upon himself to get out of plays. He's so jacking off to stop the run that they do play action, suck him inside, then it's outside. It's an outside run. He gives that up constantly. That's the way to beat Max Crosby. It happens all the time. He might get his little 2, 3 stops, in the backfield. That's good. That's fine. But I want him to get more sacks. I expect Max to get 15, 16, 17 sacks this year. Be the top 3 defensive end like you say you are. Make the All-Pro team, not the Pro Bowl. Go play that flag football team. Get decorated. Well, that's one thing we agree. That's one thing we agree on, Sham. I don't believe in this. I don't want him to be in this receiving. I don't want him to go through that. What work will he get with it? And that's it. That's the only exception that I make is that who's he throwing to? You know, can he make these guys better? You know, can Kirk Cousins make Trey Tucker better? Because Trey Tucker is what he is. He's never changed. He's never been anything different. He got more yards last year because Jacoby Myers left, and he got all the targets. Because Brock Bowers was hurt. Big ups to Trey Tucker. But I don't think of Trey Tucker like everybody else does. I don't have him as the standout player. We need another receiver. And we're so you know irritated by what these receivers do. We expect that. You know, if you're an asshole out on the street, just score touchdowns. When are we gonna get to that? You know, when do we get? People saying we don't want DK Metcalf because he's reading a book on the sideline. You fuck me, does on the sideline. When's the last time we had something like that? We don't want Stephon Diggs. This dude comes up 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Yeah, we don't want that though because he's with Cardi B and he got some allegations on him because of Fred Biletnikoff. There wasn't even a rule for that Al Davis. All of us say Al Davis made that rule. Al Davis wasn't even around when that shit happened. I'm not saying that it's right. It's a good rule. But people make mistakes, man. People get heated. To disrespect Fred Biletnikoff, I'm pretty sure they'll win a Super Bowl with a guy instead of disrespecting Fred Biletnikoff. I'm pretty sure people will get fired because of that rule. And a guy making a mistake. We dealt with a lot of mistakes. We've been through enough shit not to overdo that. But we want to be the goody two shoes organization, and I'm not saying get murderers and shit, bro. I'm not saying do that, but hey, you get allegations, ain't none of them stick. I'm not saying that they suck, bro. I'm not saying that they don't suck. Okay, they started, and the next year they got better. He might be one of them journeymen, bro, but they didn't sit. Do you think that Jameis Winston is productive? Do you think Jameis Winston has a good reputation around the league? Can Jameis Winston go into a game and start and win football games? Did Kyler Murray beat us twice? Matter of fact, did Bryce Young go into our house 2 years ago, a rookie year, and smash us at home? Or was that Dalton? Maybe it was Dalton. But I wouldn't say Bryce Young sucks. Kyler Murray isn't having a successful season. Jameis Winston doesn't suck, bro. Jameis Winston doesn't have a problem being on any team. And it doesn't look like Bryce Young is going anywhere in Carolina. And Kyler Murray, he might have a resurgence in Minnesota, but they don't suck. You got that wrong. All these quarterbacks are standards on their team, bro. All these quarterbacks, I mean, Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield, what do you think about him in Tampa? Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence. Well, are we saying they suck? I bet you would have any of these dudes over Kirk Cousins right now. And, and Kirk Cousins don't throw picks. Jameis Winston is known for taking risks, and you know that. You know that. And Kirk Cousins doesn't do stupid shit. And oh, you must be a Derek Carr guy too, with all his picks. Jeez. Right, look, you could say till you're blue in the face, Chimp, that Mendoza shouldn't start and he should take time. I don't have a problem with you saying that. But let me tell you this. If he ends up not doing shit in this second year, right? I'm gonna get my wish. You said the third game, right? But what you're gonna say is that he's sad, and that's the reason why he's playing like this. You'll say that, right? Oh, he played 3K. He got mentored. He learned the offense. He learned the playbook. Those 3 games, he was ready now. So it's a lose for me. I just want him to start. That's all. You could bore the shit out of everybody and say he needs to sit, he needs to learn, he needs to do this, but that's not what people are saying about him. He overrides my gripe by him saying it. And it was stupid that he said that. He made himself look really bad. And you don't see that because we already have this infatuation with him. Ain't nobody wearing number 8 jerseys or 12 jerseys. They all got 15s on. I bet you have a Mendoza jersey. But why have a Mendoza jersey and Flossie? The dude ain't gonna play. You know, you'll start wearing it on third game. All right. And I bet you there's Jameis Winston jersey. Bryce, a grip of Carolina fans got Bryce Young jersey. A grip of people in Minnesota up here got top seller Kyler Murray jerseys. They're excited to have him. Where's Jameis at? The Giants? They're excited to have him. They're going crazy for Bryce Young. They might be a little fed up with he's a little dude, but Kyler Murray's a little guy. They're proving that little guys ain't gonna make it. I'm just glad we got a big guy. Big guy. You want to see that man? He's gonna be unsuccessful, but I'm proving to you that next year, bro, that 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 game he gets is gonna be an asset to him. Starter, you got that team right off the bat. Right off the bat, you got that team. I don't want Kirk Cousins to get hurt or mess up. Then we throw this dude out there because he's gonna be in this AOC shit. I get tired of AOC didn't get his chance, and he was in the shit. You have 5, 6 coaches and offensive coordinators. Well, in my book, if you have 5 or 6 offensive coordinators, you should be damn good. You learned a lot. You know everything. That's an excuse for media and poor ass excuse fans. That's what I think. And that's the gripe for AOC. They just can't take the fact that he's bad. And then you try to get likes and clicks because there's a quarterback competition. I tell AOC's coming. I don't give a fuck what AOC does. He just better not be starting for my team. I'm not with McCarthy. He was. I think he's over. McCarthy is over. He was over Floss. He handled the ball off fucking 100 times a game. Going through 2 passes. He threw 2 passes in one game. He's not. He has a lot to learn. JJ McCarthy has a lot to learn. But he started, bro. He got hurt. Next year, he didn't have a successful year because he didn't play his first year. He didn't play good, but that was his rookie year, bro. Now they knew that it took that long for them, and with a genius hiccup, We can't talk shit about that head coach. He's a genius. He's in that McVay tree, just like our guy, Shanahan, like that. So AJ McCarthy didn't do a lot of good things, but he has another year coming up, and they got somebody. I think Kyler Murray's better than Kirk Cousins. Shit, I think Jameis Winston's better than Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, man. That's just my feeling. But look, Chip, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. Come back again. I don't know when I'm gonna be on, but it's gonna be tomorrow. If you guys will see it out there, check out on your YouTube feeds, bro. Subscribe to Coach Gravy. There's another guy named Coach Gravy, and he's doing like Oregon State. I don't dig Oregon Ducks, but he has a little thing on there that says Fresno State, Oregon. I don't know if we won that game. We almost did because I was there. But every time we play Oregon, I've been there. But they came to Fresno, I think, a couple years ago. We lost that game the last drive. I went through a pick in the end zone. But I want to thank everybody for being here. This is my comeback show. It was Melissa's Get Back. Melissa was my sister. She passed away on June 17th. And I'm dedicating every show I do for her because she was a big time Raider fan, and she loved the Raiders just as much as I do. She knew football. She loved what I did here. Um, I hope I gave you guys. I hope I entertained you guys, and maybe give you a little bit of game that you can talk about on other shows. And maybe said this. They can say whatever they want about me, but I don't know me. I know just about everybody that's on TV, that's on YouTube. So, and I'm cool with everybody. I don't have a problem with nobody. You might. My intention is not to get on a lot of things and just do my own for me and my sis, but I might have some. I got special people that I want to talk to, get their input on, argue with, and things. A lot of them. So you might see that from me. But all in all, I want to wish you guys a good night. Thank you for being here with me. I love you all for the support. Hit the like button. Tell people Gravy's back on. This one was from Melissa.